Hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Council President Mays, I'm ready to call this meeting to order. Let's get some order. Everybody take a seat. Let's get some order. Bonnie, when you see Beverly, send her up to me. She ran some copies off for everybody who didn't get copies. Beverly, the director of Hasselberg, is running copies off. Ms. Brown, is it going to be a roll call? Yes. Okay. It's 5:35. I'm trying to be punctual. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Mays.
Present.
Ms. Lewis.
Present.
Mr. Murphy.
Present.
Ms. Priestley.
Present.
Ms. Winfrey Carter.
Present.
Ms. Tanya Burns.
Present.
Allie Herkenroder.
Present.
Mr. Dennis Pfeiffer.
Present.
Ms. Eva Worthing.
Ms. Worthing is not here. Okay, we got roll call out the way. We got enough participation. And, the purpose of this meeting, as some of you know, is to hear from the public regarding the American Rescue Plan Act. Some people call it the ARPA funds, received by the city of Flint. Once you get them done, Beverly, I need to have that when you get a break. But just float them around, get them out. What she's passing out and what some of you already have is a basic guideline. And I want you to make sure the council people get it. And I know, Beverly, that there's been an issue with math, but we're going to move forward because that issue is a national issue. It's nationwide, and I'm not going to get into the legalities of it today. So I ask everybody to bear with me, and I want everybody everybody to be comfortable when you take that microphone. It ain't no time limit, but it's gonna be some common sense. You can talk more than once. If something strikes your fancy and you hear somebody else talk about it, you can get up, talk more than once. It's open mic. But you know, I'm a little ignorant that I got to chair a meeting and I got to be kind to the public and kind to everybody. But I ain't gonna be overly kind. I'm gonna facilitate a good meeting, and we gonna be here until hopefully y'all are satisfied. What's your point?
Just for the record, that we talked about last moving forward, we just took never mind. I'll wait.
Okay, you withdraw your point of order. And so I don't want to get into those legalities, but I will because it's a public meeting. And we deal with everything and every issue. Democrats, Republicans, black, white, young, and old. Welcome to the North Side. Welcome to the North Side. Hey, this city council voted to have 4 different meetings on 4 different parts of town. And guess why we at Hasselberg? Because the president is a little biased. It's on the North Side, First Ward. Welcome to the First Ward. Welcome to the North Side. Now, we got the East Side, primarily. You look at Miss Priestley, Mr. Murphy's ward go to the east. You got the South Side. You look a little bit at Miss Herkenroder. You look at maybe Miss Worthy. You even got some of the South. But when you look at the West Side, you look kind of like at Mr. Pfeiffer, Miss Tanya Burns. You see how old I'm getting? I'm like Biden. I can't hardly get my word. Watch yourself. You get in the middle of the city who can get some of the east, north, south, and west is Jerry Winter Carter. So y'all tell us, and they'll tell me where they want the other 3 meetings to be. The north, I thought about first in class, the south, the east, and the west. But y'all can demand that we come back in the summertime. You can do that because this money can be spent over 4 years. You leave it up to me, I'm gonna spend it in the first year. But we ain't even got the second 47 million yet. We've been sitting on 47 million that we already got since May of 2021. It ain't spent a dime. Well, we did spend a dime. We spent $1 million for a compliance firm named Ernst & Young, and they gonna make sure, and we gonna see what they do. If they gonna do the paperwork, make sure we in compliance, follow the rules, stay within the guidelines, so we don't have to pay this money back. If they do good, in my satisfaction, I might vote and give them another 6 months, a year. If they do bad, I want them gone. So we got $1 million in place for a compliance firm. Now, before I open up the mic, because that's the purpose of this meeting, I gotta be considerate to council people, right? Anything anybody wanna say before we go to open mic on the council? This is a good time to politic, because I'm a politician, but I'm president of the council. The mic is open. Mr. Murphy, you got the floor.
Thank you, President Mays. And I just want to say thank you to the public for coming out to this meeting. Like Councilman President Mays said, this is our first of 4 meetings. A majority of us you might see up here taking notes. So if I see me on my computer or something, I'm just taking notes and listening as you guys speak. I may not say nothing else because I'm just taking notes and listening to you guys. Thank you all again for coming out.
I say Miss Presley. Miss Presley, you got the floor.
You are old.
I am always your mic on. You better have your mic on when you say that.
Well, I can say that because I'm 4 days older than he is. Anyway, is my mic's not on?
Yeah, come on, let's-
Nope, here it is now, I think. No?
It's
Is it on?
Oh, can you give me some more back?
Or do I just carry enough? Okay. I want to say how glad I am to be here. I grew up half mile, 3/4 of a mile from here on Margin. I don't know how many people know that street. My best friend lived down the road, so it's really nice. It's like old home week, even though I've lived on the east side most of my life. The second place that I've lived was right there on Marja, where I graduated from Northwestern, went to Brownell and Holmes. So I'm eager to hear what you think, and I'm taking notes because I forgot the password in my laptop because I'm old.
Thank you. Good evening. I just want to say thank you all for coming out. I am looking forward to your comments on what we should do with the ARPA funds. And I'm going to be taking notes, and I'm looking forward to it.
Anybody else before we open the floor? And I want to explain something to you. I'm going to keep my hat on. I'm going to dress this way. I tried to give myself a haircut. I ain't going to explain no more. So y'all say what y'all want, but I'm going to keep my hat on. Who wanted the floor? Ms. Burns, you got the floor.
Good evening, Flint residents. I want to say thank you for coming out, number one, because it's cold, it's winter. The roads are still snowy covered, so I appreciate you coming out, but this is a time where we are to listen to you. Your voice matters. What concerns your family matters to me, and I know it matters to the rest of my colleagues. It was important that we did vote the compliance firm for 1 year with the contention, or, well, they can be actually add on more years. But I think when we look at how COVID is still affecting our community, it's not over. COVID is still here. So we talk about the loss of jobs, the death loss and toll. We had to all stay in our homes. We were afraid to buy groceries. There was a lot of different things that we had to learn how to live differently. So we want to hear how it affects you. Be honest and open. I believe in transparency, and I would like and encourage all of you to be transparent, because there's a lot of things that's going on and our community needs to heal. This is your time. Please share open and honestly what you and your family and friends have been going through, because that's what we go back and we look at, because it's important. You matter. You matter. You voted us in, and we have got a job to do. Thank you.
Ms. Burns, you got the floor.
Good evening, everyone. I'm really excited to be back at Hasselbring. I've been back here in probably a year or so I'm glad to be back. I want to echo the sentiments of my colleagues that have already mentioned how thankful we are for you all to be out here tonight. It's really, really exciting. I'm hoping to hear all, if not most, of your voices this evening, because your voices are what's going to help us shape the budget for how we want to spend these ARPA dollars, being able to utilize these dollars for long-term investments in the city and being able to keep pushing Flint's future forward. So I'm really excited to hear what everybody has to say tonight. Just know, just like what Mr. Murphy said, I'm not doing anything besides taking notes, and I'm really excited. So thank you so much, everyone.
Do I see movement? You got the floor.
Yeah, I want to just echo all the sentiments of my colleagues. They've said pretty much everything, and as far as everybody being here, it's much appreciated. And me personally, I've been looking forward to these kitchen table type discussions so that we can come up with an idea and a plan to have long-lasting, improved processes and improved programs in the city, so we can really help our residents. So I'm looking forward to hearing your guys' ideas and hopefully it's a good night. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, hearing none, I wanna get ready to open the floor, but I want you to understand this. This ain't like a regular council meeting. You can ask council people questions, they can respond to you, you can talk more than once. I'm the only one that can talk for a half an hour. No, I'm just kidding, I'm gonna talk that long. So we gonna try to facilitate it, and if I facilitate something, you know, people get upset with me. Don't get upset with me. Just know that you can walk up here to me, tell me something in my ear, get me though, you can go back to the mic, but we gonna have a good meeting, and this is gonna be the first of, I'm gonna say y'all meeting. 94 million. Any category that you don't see on here, if my colleagues can help me, this pass out, I think this came from the administration's category. Do y'all know what I mean when I say the administration? That means the mayor's memo. When you hear council people and people say the administration, they referring to the mayor. Two co-equal branches of government. Once we allocate money, the administration they have to administer. And they have to administer it the way that we allocate. So what you're doing here today, you're talking to 9 people that controls millions of dollars in the city of Flint. The council controls the purse strings. Now, how can we get together 5 of us and agree? When 5 agree, money is allocated and spent. I see people, they move around the mayor, well, maybe the mayor can influence 2 or 3 of them. I'm gonna try to influence 3, 4, or 5. You gonna try to influence 3, 4, or 5. But just send that message out clear. The council controls the purse strings and make rules. The administration administers after the fact. The mic is open. Anybody who want to communicate, just get up, rise, come to the mic. There are 2 or 3 people standing there. You can sit down. I don't think we're going nowhere pretty soon. Beverly might put us out. Beverly, stand up and introduce yourself. I gotta give Beverly an opportunity to say whatever she wanna say because under the emergency manager, when the doors was locked, padlocks, and we got them open, we done went through 2 and 3 administrations. I like this one. Beverly, you got the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Mays. Thank you, Mr. Mays. For those of you who don't know, I'm Beverly Lewis. I'm the executive director here at Castleberg Senior Center. Welcome. I am so pleased that you came out. Thank you. If there's anyone who needs to speak who can't stand, I can bring the mic to you.
Look how excited and how fast people is moving. Up, I see movement. There go, I see more movement.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Trifina Clark. I'm a former resident of Flint, and I did own property in Flint. And I'm also a member of the North Flint Grocery Store Market. So my question is, based on your current allocations in the economic development, blight elimination categories, how can we include a category to support the North Flint Grocery Store? We know that there is currently a deficit in their budget, and there's a lot of funding that's been allocated for that project. And a lot of residents that have gave the dollars to support the grocery store that we would really like to see get the funding to get over the line so that they can finish the deal so that we can have a local market here, a co-op here. And so can you tell me how can or what category needs to be added so that we can be able to include that project in grant dollars, to receive grant dollars to get the project over?
Okay, you don't have to leave, but cut that mic off. If anybody who wanna answer can, and if they don't answer, I'm gonna answer, cause I know the answer, but Mr. Murphy, I see movement, you can respond.
To respond to your question for the North Flint Food Market, we have received a letter and a budget breakdown of the North Flint Food Market. I'm not sure if you aware, if you have any, conversation with, Pastor Flynn. I would suggest that you, have a conversation with Pastor Flynn. He already have, sent a letter and a budget breakdown to the council. I do believe all of us have received a letter and the budget breakdown of the Flint North Food Market. We will be looking at it. What category is a good question, but we are looking at it. And when we get ready to, make decisions, that'll be one of the,
Speak a little louder, please, Councilman Burns.
We have received the letter and the budget breakdown of the North Flint Food Market. The young lady that got up and spoke, I would suggest that she, reach out to Pastor Flynn, and hopefully he'll give you the information that he already gave us the letter and the budget breakdown, just like other people have gave us letters of interest to receive some of those funds. And once we get to looking at that, I'm quite sure me and my colleagues will be looking at, where those dollars. So we are aware of that situation. Thank you.
And that specific situation is about 600,000. He's requested that he want to see if it qualifies where we can help with different equipment and stuff inside, and they don't want construction to fail. I'm in favor of 600,000 out of 94 million, a project on the north end. We might not have 5 votes, but we're aware of that. Some council persons have not, I could tell from looking, have not received the details, but those communications is in. We're gonna try to make the process, whereas if you verbally tell us something and don't write it on paper, we're gonna try to facilitate the wishes of folks. So we are aware of that, as Mr. Murphy said. If you know it, I see you nodding your head, it's about 600,000. I done talked to Pastor Flynn twice. I'm proud of the project because it's in the first ward. It's in Pearson and Clyde Road, and they don't want construction interrupted and so forth and so on. Good question. Mr. Woodson, you got the floor, and you know you can always come back.
Mr. Mays.
Ms. Birkenroder, you got the floor.
I did want to respond to that really quickly. So that point exactly is one of the beautiful things of these sessions, because this is how we can start, as a council, start thinking creatively about how can we use these ARPA dollars to fit into that. So for example, the ARPA dollars cover public health. We know that access to food is a public health need and necessity, so that could be a creative way that we can think about how we can utilize these ARPA dollars, or utilize these dollars to help improve with community involvement and also with public health. So I'm really, really thankful for that, and I think that could be another opportunity for us to be able to allocate these dollars.
Mr. Piper, you got the floor. What she did was showed you how creative we can be in different categories, and that's important. This is a exercise in creativity, Mr. Piper.
So on that point, I would encourage the community to look at Austin, Texas. They have a community-owned food program that they're running through the ARPA program, where it allows the community to own the grocery store with funding through this ARPA. So look at that, because that could be another avenue as well. Thank you.
Anybody else? Mr. Woodson, if no movement from this illustrious council. You see what I said, illustrious? My vocabulary is expanding. Mr. Illustrious Woodson, you got the floor.
Can you hear me? All right. Let's start off with economic development and blight elimination. We sent 600 houses, or 600 commercial property houses over to Land Bank. Land Bank own those houses now. Genesee County received $79 million in ARPA funds also. And they didn't give them one dime. They didn't give Land Bank one dime. Why should we take our money and give Land Bank money where the county owns the property? We shouldn't do that. If anything, since people like to scream out MOUs all the time, if we have to demo with our money, we should have them to give us that property back. So where we own the property. Because I'm tired of us having the city of Flint having to give land bank our property, which they own 67% of the city of Flint. They're the biggest realtor in the city of Flint. So why should we have to, we volunteer and clean up anyway? So that brings me to another part. I wish Ernest and Young was here so that they can tell us where we can and can't use the money. Because I'm
Hit your mic.
say what?
Hit your mic.
What's going on? No, turn it off.
Yeah, cut it off.
No,
Is it off?
you went out.
Yeah, only one at a time. You should hold you. And then you cut it off. Okay. It would. Right. What I wanted to say before you move on, if I'm able to, mic wise. Hello. I don't know what to do, but I'm glad you're here to take it. Yeah. So that's all right. Listen to this. As she get this mic stuff together, and we will. Mr. Piper was the council person on the extreme who said keep all 600 properties. Am I right? Say the city should control its own property. Somebody on the other extreme said, hey, we don't want none because we ain't prepared to handle them. I understand both extremes. Where am I at? Somewhere in the middle. It was 600 properties every year under law. 5 council votes can keep any or all of them. Y'all didn't know the council had that much power, did you? 5 council votes can keep any or all of them. We got some issues in that area. But as far as spending the money on them, I'm somewhere in between on your issue, Mr. Woodson. The county did get money, and they can probably use it for demolition. And we might can do a partnership with him. He raised the issue, should we partner with the land bank or force the county and the land bank to use their own money to take care of their property? We gonna hear what y'all want us to do. We've heard one, you have the floor, you come get my mic and continue. You scared to come get my mic? And you can turn around, talk, you can continue.
That's why I was hesitant on getting the mic. Hey, I was hesitant on getting the mic in. Hey, but you know, another thing, we have a lot of nonprofit organizations that actually does the work. Around here, they like to give it to the big organizations, and they take their administration fees 10, 13%. And by the time they make it to the organizations that's actually doing the work, they get crumbs, and they can't give it to anybody. So when it comes down to you all to make a vote, if it doesn't have the foot soldiers and not the same organizations, because it's a repeating thing here, where they give it to the same organizations, when you have organizations that's actually doing the work can't find a dime. That's how you get money back into the community. You find those organizations that's out here actually doing the work, and that's actually in the neighborhoods working with the people. And see if you can partner up with the land bank and get some of those houses back and refurbish the houses. You can refurbish, you can go to the VA and say, hey, listen, we want a partnership up with you all. Can y'all match our funding and give it to, give the house to a veteran, a disabled veteran. Give it to a police officer who y'all trying to recruit. I mean, but we can refurbish the houses and put them back on the tax roll instead of just giving them away for nothing, because we don't get any of the money back from the land bank. And last but not least, I see on here infrastructure, lead service line program. What do we need to spend money that we didn't got for the people on something that we should have money for already?
Well, I know they're clapping, I know they understand. Keep going.
In-home plumbing. We should not spend a dime. They should be up at the state. 3 years, they should have been up at the state telling the people, Governor Whitmer, to come down here and fix and finish fixing our water. We should not have to spend a dime for that. Road restoration. They said that they want to spend money for road restoration. We should not have to spend a dime for that. Let's not, I mean, everybody can spit their ARPA funds on. St. Louis gave their people $500. We didn't have this money since May 19, 2021. And the only people, like Councilman Mays said, that they got some money from it is this compliance fund. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to give the money to the people. Let's start moving on it and let's start doing something. I mean, and last but not least, again, I am a big, huge advocate for the help centers. St. Mark's, Bethel, Osbury, and Greater Holy Temple. You have seniors that get out there. We was just out there this past Wednesday on snow day. Well, nobody out, but the seniors, there's a lot of seniors that work at the St. Mark's. Volunteer. They know they volunteer, they know they don't get paid, but can y'all just take a couple of dollars out of that ARPA fund and give to Bethel, Greater Holy Temple, St. Mark, and Great Asbury? I mean, it wouldn't hurt. Just show their, show them our appreciation, because they was out there during the height of the COVID, reaching in people's cars, giving water and food out. Some of them got real sick. So if you can, please, at least give them $500 at least, and say how much you appreciate them doing something that needed to be done, because our water isn't safe. And they still passed out water and food. Thank you.
You'd be surprised you'd be surprised what 5 of these folks can do. I see them taking notes. Who is the next speaker? Is it someone will say? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Woodson, turn your mic off.
Yeah.
Yep, turn yours off.
Mine is off.
Okay. Mr. Woodson, I have been contacted by 3 groups who have young kids, teenagers, who want to work on houses, learn a trade. And what better way could we do than to give these organizations houses that we kept? Because we voted to keep 49 houses, I believe.
Somebody's microphone's on that's not speaking. Could you turn off all the microphones?
It's this one. It's this microphone, but I can speak loud.
No, it wasn't. I think Allie had hers on.
Okay. Can we try this again? Okay, no, this is working just fine. I think someone else had their mic on. No? Okay. So anyways, like I said, I have several organizations that have reached out to me wanting to rehabilitate homes and teach young adults, let's call them young adults, a trade. So maybe we can help fund those and keep the houses that we kept, and not only give back to the community that way, but help these young people learn a trade so that they can support themselves in the future.
And own the house when they get it together. Who got the next speaker? Y'all better let y'all mind be y'all guide and anyone.
Ms. Priestley, I forgot one other thing. Williams School, you can use ARPA funds over there, because East Side doesn't have a recreational, center. So it's the north side and the east side that really needs help in this city. And you can do a recreational center over there for that community, and the name can be Mr. Eastside Anthony Palladino. All right, thank you so much. Oh, and the Labor Department, there used to be Metro Youth Bill. They lost $10 million. So you can even have somebody try to write up for that grant and use that 10 million along with the 10 million from the ARPA funds to rehabilitate the houses. Thank you.
Ain't this fun? Come on, next speaker, but Mr. Piper wanted to say something while you're moving, and you need to hear from him because you're gonna have to lobby them and get these people to vote 5 for something we want. Go ahead.
Well, you don't have to lobby me against the land bank. If anybody listens to me, I will speak out against the land bank until the day I die, because they are killing the north side of Flint. What their plan is to drive everybody out, totally obliterate the public, just kill the land values up here. They are not going to demo any houses. They are not going to, until the next door neighbor is also ready to demo. And then that's going to be turned into farmland. So in 10 years, the population in Ward 1, 2, 3, some of 4, some of 5, is going to be half of what it is now, unless we step up and take these properties back and bring them back to the community. That is the only way we can save our community.
All right, Speaker, our ears are ringing. You got the floor. You want to say something, Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I wanted to respond to Art Wilson. I am one who support, so maybe I may not be the one that everybody support on this one. I believe, I've been doing community organizing for over 20 years. I believe in capacity building. The mayor and administration came to city council and told us they did not have the capacity to take on 600 properties. So as a council, when I got elected, I said I wanted to work together to move the city forward. I was not, as an individual council who had just got elected in November, I was not gonna allow the mayor, the administration, who has been in office for a long time, Suzanne Wilcox, that's been over the planning department, came to the podium and told us directly that they did not have the capacity to build and maintain 600 properties. So this councilman was listening. I wasn't taking it personal. I might think that the 600 properties need to be in-house, but this mayor and this administration told us that they did not have the capacity to maintain 600 properties. So I was not gonna vote for 600 properties when we didn't have the capacity, because had I done that and we took them, we would have been messed up, and if it didn't work, we didn't have a plan in place. There was nothing in writing that said when we take these 600 properties, we're gonna use this budget to move 600 properties. I've been working with the land bank for some years. We have done clean and green programs all over the city of Flint. If y'all see those signs in the yard, that's because of the clean and green. When I have connected people to buy houses through the land bank, it worked. When the neighbor down the street from me, the landlord lost their house, the land bank turned around and sold that house to them on land contract. They did not put them out. So I don't know what statistics that some of my colleagues is looking at, and I respect their opinion, but it worked for the people who I have worked with. I've worked with the land bank. Renetta Speed has always been good to me. They don't have funding, and I am the person, and I am the city councilman, that whatever house in the city of Flint is our problem. I ain't gonna point no finger to get myself up out of the blame game, because some of us wanna blame somebody in order to look at and see that it's all of our problem. Regardless of whoever owns it, I don't care whether it's privately owned, I don't care whether the land bank owns it, it is our problem. And I am not gonna be no councilman that sit here and point the finger that the land bank Dr. Lewis, not to be calling your name out, but you own the property, it's our property. So I am going to be the city councilman that may not be the like a majority of this room from the class. Everybody think the land bank. I think they do good work. And I sat here and think the city of Flint own houses and didn't do nothing with them. Before the land bank came, it was jacked up when the city of Flint had it. And I am not ready to gamble and bring some houses back to the city of Flint and let them be sitting like they were sitting before. So if my colleagues got a plan to deal with it, I'll support it. If I don't see no plan, I ain't supporting it.
All right. Now, we gonna move this line along. I want council people to do what's hard for me. You know it's hard for me not to talk. Sir, you got the floor. We gonna circle back on that land bank conversation. You got the floor.
Thank you very much, and to all the citizens of Flint. I thank you. I'm listening to your comments as well. So let me introduce myself. My name is Eric Eggleston. I'm the founder and the CEO of Youth Development Corporation. We did receive the $1.5 million Youth Bill grant for the city of Flint. So this is actually my first time in front of our council to let you all know, not only did we receive the $1.5 million for the city of Flint, we received $1.5 million for the city of Saginaw, $1.5 million for Memphis, Tennessee, $1.5 million also for Canton, Mississippi, and we're looking forward to having Flint as well. Also, we've received $500,000 a year commitment from the state of Michigan. I am here to service those 16 to 24-year-olds who have dropped out of high school and who is looking to not only to receive a high school diploma or GED, but all of our students also earn up to 47 college credits. So they only have to take 5 courses and they have an associate's degree. But on top of that, to shed some light on what's really going on with the land bank, on the 17th, we meet with the Michigan Land Bank Authority, and that partnership will look exactly what I structured in the city of Saginaw, where they've given us 41 properties. The state has given us the funds. We are building brand new houses, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, solar also because of food security, we call them hoop houses, so they will have 2 fruit trees as well as a greenhouse in the backyard. It don't cost the citizens a dime. It don't cost the city a dime. Then we sell those homes to the residents of the city at an affordable rate where these houses are sustainable. They're also durable for young families. So the work is being done, and it's getting ready to be done here. Last week we gave 11 students $78 because they passed their first module of 1. So we're starting to roll this program out. The governor is already on board. She supports it. Our state reps support it. So I look forward to actually doing some work here in the city of Flint. YDC, our motto is we do what everybody else talk about. So we build. And we build with using the least of them. And the least of them, you will find 98% of my students in our program are your kids. They from Flint. And we're over at Academy West and Westwood High School, because that's where we're being housed, because I needed to get directly to the individuals that I am serving. I don't have time to go door to door. I went to your largest school that had the biggest population, that had those individuals 16 to 24 struggling in traditional school. And we're looking to expand that partnership. But one thing I do promise, and I go on the record of saying this, I'm building a brand new house on land bank property in the city of Flint.
All right.
That is for sure. The goal is to do 3 in every city that we go into annually. Our grant is a 3-year commitment. Our students will be ready in about 6 months. And on the 17th, I look forward to telling the land bank the same thing you've done in Saginaw, Lansing, Detroit, and Jackson. I expect you to do the same thing for me here in Flint, Michigan. Give me my 41 properties so we can go to work.
That's right.
So thank all of you for your time, and we look forward to our partnering with this great council.
Amen.
Do any speakers wish to respond? Or, excuse me, council members wish to respond? You have the floor.
Hello. Hello, Council. How are you tonight? Can you hear me? Okay. Tracy Frazier here. And I am very appreciative of you guys coming out tonight and giving us this platform so we can give you guys some ideas or questions that we may have. Some of you know me or know a little bit about me, but I was born and raised on the north side of Flint, Laredo Street. I own property on the east side. I lost some property to the land bank. So everyone isn't a fan of the land bank, such as myself. And I want to touch on that for a hot second because they did not offer support to homeowners. See, the house that I lost to land bank was not my primary home. There were no options available for homeowners like me to save their properties. And I was told my property was taken because of a water main. When I did research, city officials told me, oh, we don't take properties because of a water main. So I'm just out of a property. But that's spilled milk. I'm not bitter about it. I still support the land bank. I still support Genesee County and the city of Flint. I'm moving forward. My original reason for being up here today is I'm a high school mentor. And we have some public schools that's on the roster that's not being used. I would like to see those. One in particular is Roy Wilkins Elementary. I would like to see that become a community center. Because I agree with Mr. Pfeiffer. It's going to be green space in a minute, but it's still kids over there. It's still families over there, and they need something. They need somewhere to go. We have a big crime issue, and it revolves around the youth. They have nowhere to go. Give these kids somewhere to go that's positive. Instead of the club over there on Chevrolet or hanging out in the streets at these stores where we got to get surveillance up there because they don't have a safe place to congregate. So let's consider that. I would really love to see Roy Wilkins become a community center. Thank you.
Ms. Cherise. Did anybody want to respond?
Turn it off and back on after her.
All right, test. I just wanted to respond to her on the land bank, with the property. The process is when, your house get lost to Texas, the land bank is not the first person who get the properties. The land bank is, when you lose a house through the, back taxes or something, it goes to the county treasury. It go up for auction. If it don't sell at auction, it goes to the city of Flint. Once the city of Flint get those properties, is what we call the first rights of refusal, which the city of Flint get all these lists of properties. So you hear my colleagues talk about the 600 properties that we just recently done. So once it goes to the county, it go up for auction, it don't sell, it go to the city of Flint first. Once the city of Flint get the properties, then the city of Flint has the right to keep the properties or eject them. What traditionally has been done is the city eject the properties. Once the city eject the properties, then they go to the land bank. Once they go to the land bank, if you personally lost a property and it's in your name and you lost it for back taxes, I don't know a program or policy where you can lose your property and they turn around and give it back to you. Because if that's the case, all of us probably will not pay our taxes and then lose it and get it back. So I don't know that process. But if someone else is living in a property and the owner lose the property, what the land bank will do instead of putting that person out, sell the property to that person on a land contract. So that's how that process goes. So I just wanted to explain to you, you talked about the land bank not working with you. The land bank never get the property first, the city, and they go to auction and all of that. So I just wanted to clear that up right there.
I'm going to the next speaker, and let me say this. We can be creative. We can help people keep property. We can get property and help people get it back. I'm not going to not pay my taxes and take a chance and lose my property and see if these folks will give it back. But if something happens, I sure want a safety net, and we can creatively invent that. Go ahead, ma'am. You got the floor.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sheree Stapleton. I am a grassroots organization, which is called Mothers of Joy University.
Would you repeat that? It's called what?
The LLC is Mothers of Joy University. The nonprofit is Mothers of Joy Institute for Parenting and Family Wellness. All right. My questions to you are, with this money that is coming to the city, are there apartments being built for those who've received vouchers that have nowhere to live right now? And there are tarps on houses of people who can't afford to get their homes fixed. They're older people within the city. Is there anything that can be done for that? Also, how can we create more family-centered programs for Flint that look like Grand Blanc and Davison? Next, lastly, this was given to me, but I am very passionate about this. We have parks and recreations that have been restored within Genesee County and Flint. How do we get equipment that will now meet the needs of the children who've been affected by the lead? Because most of them have cognitive delays and different types of learning disabilities. So they need to be able to play and use the equipment that is there. A lot of the equipment is not disability friendly. Lastly, I would like to know, what can I do to help?
Can I say this before they start? See, look at you. You said, I would like to know, can you do this? Guess who we work for? You. I would like for you to say the same thing over and say, I would like for y'all to see if you can do this. I would like for y'all to see if you can do this. I done learned, I'm a polite guy. You know that, right? But this is what I want you to tell us to do. Did y'all make a list of the things that she was talking about? Run through them real fast again. And I'm going to say the first part. You so polite. This is what I wish y'all could do. Go ahead.
Provide housing for people who have vouchers right now that don't have housing.
You understand that? Okay. Say what you said.
That's my sister, that's why she's polite.
Oh, you just said my sister because she said, well, my sister polite. I'm the only crazy one. Go ahead.
How can we provide more family-centered programs for our community that look like Grand Blanc and Davison?
Okay, so you say that one more time.
How can we provide more family-centered programming that looks like Davison and Grand Blanc?
We should build some of them Davison and
Yes.
Grand Blanc houses
Yes.
on these 2 and 3 empty lots.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And also, the man was speaking, I thought about this. The houses that are being built, will they be able to be utilized by people who have vouchers?
Yeah. You don't help us with that. Ms. Irving wrote knew about back there Highland. See,
Yes.
tell us what to do. Tell us what to do.
And me being a grassroots program that provides family-centered programming, how can I help?
Tell us how you can help and let us try to find it.
that part. So there's funding that needs to be given to be
We
able to
gonna
provide the
try to help
program.
as many as we can, and we know this money ain't gonna last long. We want people to push. I see Lynette over there. She done got a proposal already from the Broom Center. Pastor Flint, we hear you. We riding.
I didn't know if I was able to provide a proposal.
We gonna make it easy and plain. That's what I'm hoping. And look, if we don't pay attention, who you gonna go to?
My sister.
Mm-hmm. Next speaker.
Thank you.
Mr. Murphy wanted to respond. Johnny, pause for the cause. I'm trying to get to the speaker. That's that award winner from the last council meeting. Behind you, Johnny, the one with all that hair more than me. Go ahead, Mr. Murphy.
I just want to thank Sharice for coming. She had a lot of great ideas. One that we really talked about that really stood out to me that I hope that we can do is we got a lot of homeowners that got a lot of tops on their roof. If we can find some money to help these people that's living in their homes that do not want to move and their home is their American dream, I hope and pray to God that if we can't do nothing, we can help these homeowners that's over here living in these houses and just don't have the means to get their house fixed. So I really want to let you know that that stood out to me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm up here, okay, I'm up here wondering why. We got 9 council members. How many of y'all got 7 jobs? Okay.
I'm almost homeless.
What I was here to see is, we got 9 council members. Y'all gotta go.
Microphone, please.
Y'all gotta go pay somebody $2 million almost to figure out how to spend some money. Now, how come all y'all couldn't get together and research and share the guidelines and save that money and do your homework and learn how to spend it? But last time I was up here, I spoke about the street conditions, how the city come out and tear up water main and don't repair holes. You go down the street, your car gets tore up, your front end gets tore up, and they tell me to call the mayor. I call the mayor. Mayor tell me call street maintenance. I call street maintenance. They playing a back and forth. Won't y'all take some of that money and allocate it toward the streets only to get these potholes fixed and save us some money from our car repair? Second of all, y'all can take some of that money and look at this center right here and fix the ceiling of the wall, because I'm quite sure it'll fall in the infrastructure somewhere. And help these centers on the north end do as well as the centers out in the other communities. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want, could you state your name? I didn't hear it.
Johnny Billings, Billings. And one of the streets he talking about, who is governmental operations chair? You are. Will you put on your governmental operations agenda Graceline? That's West Graceline at the time. That spot been there for months. And somebody tore up a car just the other day. So put on your governmental operations committee, we want to pay attention and try to get that fixed, that Graceline, West Graceline. And I passed by there and said, and it's in what ward? The first ward. Put it on governmental operations. Go ahead, sir. Miss Hergenbrother, you got yours. You want to be excused, and you might be back. She got a block club meeting. You have to pay attention to block clubs. Don't you block club members in the first ward?
Hello, everybody. My name is Johnny. So I'm new to this, I'm learning, so, but I learned from the people of Flint out in the streets. These moms, they're living in these motels with these babies and they ain't got no money, man. They struggle to pay their bills at these motels and nobody's helping them, nobody's got the money. So I try to get out there to everybody in the city, taking water and food to these moms and these kids at these motels, these elderly ladies and grandpas in these houses that don't got nobody to talk to. They don't know what's gonna happen from 1 minute to the next until I knock at the door and let them know that we're there to try to help. So basically what I'm asking is I need your guys' help. I'm getting calls from so many people, so many elderly and so many people that can't get out, handicapped people, and I'm also getting calls from people who have cars and all this stuff that I try not to help them with, because it's mostly for the people who can't get out, people who can't fend for themselves. Nobody to call and say, hey, I need some help, So that's what I need help, I'm doing it for your guys' people, your mothers and your fathers that are out there, your kids, and, there's a lot of good ideas how we all can help each other. Everybody needs to be in tune, they say infrastructure is where we started. Well, you guys are here. Look at all the you council members. I give you mad respect because you know what? All these people in all these different parts of the city need to be here. They need to be here and be in tune with what the people are wanting. Not sitting at home eating dinner. This is their city too. They need to be involved. And I think you guys should do some kind of thing where from each sector, someone from the water department, someone from the roads commission, somebody from each, all need to be here and be present. That should be part of their job or their contract. We need to see what's going on. Like with the family meeting, when we're all arguing, what do? We all get down in that living room and we all talk about it and figure it out until we come up with a plan. And I feel like that's what we need to do with all members of the city, and the chief down here, everybody working together.
Can I say this?
Yes, sir.
That's gonna happen.
Most definitely.
Today, we wanna hear from you. When we move around, we want to hear from you. We have subpoena power. We have a right to put people on notice. When we hear from y'all and we can't get no sense in the administration to do what we asking them to do, we'll handle that. That's another special meeting on these funds. What you said about helping people, when you look at these guidelines, we can fund nonprofit businesses. We can fund for-profit. You can team up with a nonprofit that we can funnel money through, or you can have a nonprofit yourself, and we can fund that activity. Whether it's 300,000, $1 million, or 2 million out of 94 million. So I hear you, and I want to fund some of that. When you chopping up 94 million and you got 5 folks up here making the decision, we supposed to help listen to what you say. In the other meeting, when we get the finance people and the compliance people, we say to them, is it qualified? Can we do it? This is how we want it done. So this one we gonna hear you. The part you said is gonna happen with the other staff people. But the part what was important to me, you gonna have to tell me a figure you need to help service them people who I'm gonna guess.
Well, I definitely, you know what? I went out and bought me a camper, man. A big, huge 32-foot camper so I can haul more food and water to the, so I don't gotta keep going back, keep going back, but I'm just kind of big to get through the streets, man. I need something good. They don't got no funding to go take anybody, no food, no water, nothing. I need something good to drive, and I need something good to put all this stuff in, because I hustle this up. I go to all the different pods, I get food, and try to get as much as I can, because there's that one person late at night that ain't got nothing, and they're, some people will be like, hey man, I need water right now, man, can you bring it today? But there's a way that I do things. I like to talk to them, get to know them, see what they need. Are you just want water because you don't want to go get it?
Well, you got 3 friends on the council, Liddell.
Well, I hope I got you too, Mr. President.
Hold up. You got Liddell Lewis,
So make that
Murphy, and Ms. Priestley gave you a special order and an award. And we're listening to you. That's how I met you. So concentrate on how much money, how much equipment, or what you need, and then we'll see if we can find a way to funnel money for you to at least continue to help people. That's a nice gesture on our part.
Well, sorry, and can I say one more thing, if you don't mind? A lot of people don't get to be recognized and stuff. And on Christmas, you know, it was a beautiful thing to see these babies get gifts and, you know, stockings filled with so much love and joy. And I forgot his name. Can you come here for a minute? The young man right here who helped me.
That's Dylan.
This is Dylan. You guys probably know him, but I met him. And this guy right here, he touched my heart so much. And this is why I like doing what I do, man. His people, thank you for raising such a good guy. For real. I love you, man. I hope you will work together too, man. Most definitely. God bless you, brother.
All right.
Thanks, Al. He needed that, and so did I.
I done let Dylan share a meeting before. His voice ain't deep as mine, but he'll say, next speaker. Ma'am, you gotta hesitate 1 second. Mr. Murphy, you wanted to say something? See, I have to deal with council people and I get in trouble.
That's okay, it's some good trouble. Listen, I just want to respond to the young man that just got up here. I was, if you guys don't know, I was one of the ones I was asked by Dr. Lewis and Council President. Priest, she said I'm the best. But that charge my head and not my heart. But he had me. They had me go to the motel for Christmas to just represent the council, and I never done this before. I never thought that there were kids living in a motel, and this young man that you guys just heard speak with my young friend right here, he was here with his mom. They from the 3rd Ward. They were giving out gifts. They set the lobby up with a Christmas tree and had a whole bunch of gifts, and he dressed up like Santa Claus, and we went and knocked on the doors to the motel rooms and let the kids come to the lobby area, and they gave Christmas gifts, and they was lining up, and I felt so blessed that my colleagues wasn't able to make it. But that man, he got a real good heart, and he gonna go a long way. And there's people like him that I want to see what I can do to help. And I'm thankful to hopefully they be absent a whole bunch of more times than they do.
Hi, my name is Lottie. Y'all probably not gonna like what I say, but I hope y'all took a look around while y'all was here visiting our neighborhood. I hope y'all see all the abandoned houses, no doors, no windows. I hope you get around the corner, take a tour, go around the corner, the homes in Brownell, and look at the corner of the sign. And I'm just wondering, have y'all all thought, like, put all 9 of y'all heads together, because sometimes 9 is better than 1. Y'all sit up here, y'all act like, I don't know, 7th grade girls, but it don't affect y'all. I'm wondering, do half of y'all live here? Because it's like, yeah, that's what I'm wondering, because how could you live in a place like this and not do nothing for it? If you, every night, gunshots, you gotta hit the floor, you call the police, you ain't nobody coming, your street ain't plowed, stores murder every other day. I'm trying to figure out if they paying y'all to stay open or y'all scared to close them. We need to get rid of liquor stores, because we got no liquor stores and we got education in this neighborhood. See, that's the problem. Have any of y'all been on your ward every month, they do a memo and say, hey, the street light is out, or do y'all go out at the dark? Do y'all say, well, I see a problem at this store, I see a problem at that store. It shouldn't have to be because I know you, and you my sister or my cousin, something gonna be done for me. That's not how it's supposed to go. I'm at the point where I say, throw away the whole council. Because it ain't benefiting nobody. All these people, I got a 401. And no disrespect to nobody about your little organizations, but I'm not seeing any change. It's not doing anything. So none of y'all came together and say, hey, these mothers living in a hotel. Well, land bank, how about you give us 6 houses? We're going to allocate some of these funds to rebuild these houses. We're going to put these single mothers in there, and then that way they become taxpayers and homeowners because they living below the poverty level. Food stamps ain't gonna get you paid, bills paid. $9 an hour. I was obliviated to people making $9 an hour. You got 3 kids, $9 an hour, catching a bus, getting food. How could you survive? I mean, really, literally, how are they surviving? You got clothes, you got shoes, you got hair for girls, you got haircuts for boys. I mean, really though, really. I mean, really, I don't even have a kid, and it's killing me, and I don't even have a kid to take care of. So I'm just saying, what are y'all gonna do? All this talking and education here, and I've been doing that. It's not doing anything. All we are having is a bunch of abandoned homes, a bunch of killings, and nothing is changing. I'm just tired. And it had not been for these few little people that stuck around in Flint when it was at worst. Flint wouldn't even exist no more. Do y'all ever say, when they say, hey, we want to allocate funds and we want to put 75 million downtown in this project, do y'all say, yeah, we agree to it if you put 1.5 million on your side? Or when they say, oh, we want to fix this road to make this point, do you say, hey, but give us 75,000 for the third ward? Do y'all ever negotiate? Y'all just here? I mean, what is it?
I can answer. You don't have to worry about what you say to this council. You say whatever you want to say to this council. Don't only worry about what we think. Say what you want to say. Them houses that you see abandoned with no doors and stuff, we do talk about it. And talk is cheap. This is one instance where we get to put some millions into what you're talking about. When I listen to you, one thing I listen to is crime prevention. Me and Ms. Winfrey caught our holdovers from the old council. We put $4 million out there for crime prevention, and it was 4 yes votes and 5 no votes. We better put it out there again. I'm high for the detective bureau. Because last I checked, it was over 8,000, 10,000 complaints where people had told on people. Some of the people in the stack 6, 7 times, and ain't no detective moved on them yet. When I got beat up at Roots, they didn't pay me no attention. And then, then the next thing you know, the culprit who was in the administration swung out of state police and stuff worked. Black lives do matter. White lives matter. When you complain, we want to deal with it. Some of this money should be used to put cameras up. We voted 4 yes and 5 no to put 3.1 million to deal with them tore up and abandoned houses. I'm gonna repeat it. 4 yes and 5 no under the old council. So I wish you could start over again. Talk about us like a dog. Because I'm going to talk about us like a dog, because talk is cheap. I'm 63 years old. I could wake up dead tomorrow. I want to have been and done something that people can see. And I'm hoping that this 5 people, and out of 9 or 6 out of 9, when y'all leave here, then I'm going to remember you. Because you so made me feel bad.
Microphone?
You are right with me. If you don't tell us what to do, I'm gonna hear you and figure out what to do.
I don't want y'all to forget me. I want y'all to remember me. So when y'all see me, y'all look me in my face and know what you're doing ain't taking care of your people in this city of Flint. It's not. Have y'all ever thought about getting the thugs off the corner and offering them a job? I mean, just literally, because if you don't know nothing about crime, how could you prevent crime? If you ain't never been a thug, how do you know? You can't go. Education do not teach you to hustle. Education teaches you to read a book and get a job with a certificate. Hustle is a learned behavior. Criminalization is a learned behavior. If you ain't never been from that part, you can't fix that part. I can't go to Beverly Hills and fix their situation because I have never been that rich. I don't understand rich people problems. I don't understand a privilege problem. I only understand looking at beat up houses down the street where a tree fell, the hole still in the yard, street mechanics car everywhere. That's all I know. I mean, I don't see beautiful lines no more. All I'm saying is we keep allocating all these funds to different organizations, land bankers like a ripoff, because y'all could have came to it. I would rather be able to choose my neighbors. If this house empty next to me, it should have came to me and said, hey, this house is empty. Do you think you want to take this? Because that way I choose my neighbor. Even if I don't have a neighbor, I'm responsible for this line and this line. You let these people get these banks, they don't care. Because if they lose it, and they make get the bank again, then they lose it, and they make it again. I'm still staying there. Because this is my home. I've been over here 30-some years. Like, I see this be one of the most predominant neighborhoods in the city of Flint to being one of the most worst neighborhoods in the city of Flint. And it's like, it's not fair. I deserve some funds in my neighborhood. I deserve to have a good line. These kids deserve to be able to, they can't even play in this area because people feed down the street and shooting every other day. It is not safe. They ain't got nowhere to go. Where they gonna go?
And you in this area here?
Yes.
Who is your council person?
You.
Okay.
Mr. Man, you guys are a whole. It ain't no separating the city of Flint. Ain't nobody no better than nobody. Y'all are a whole. If you can't get it, she can't get it, he can't get it, we ain't gonna get it. Y'all stay saying me, I, and other me. There is no I in team. Y'all got to get it. Get them, or we not gonna have a stand. And it's not fair to the ones who stuck around and wanted to be here. It ain't fair to us to be pushed out of our neighborhoods. We are being forced out of here. Y'all pushing us out.
You're gonna find out.
Y'all help. Let it go. Y'all help.
What you're gonna find out is you can't move these millions of dollars with one vote. It takes 5. I'm telling you, the council means something when it comes to moving millions of dollars every year, not just 1 year. When you hear me say 5, no, and 4, yes, you can think that 1 can do it. It takes 5 or more. Your issue is blight and crime and jobs. You sure enough made me feel bad when you talked about criminal records, because I'm messed up criminal. But at the same time, I was blessed because General Motors was here. When General Motors left, young people didn't get to do 30 and 20 years like me. And so what you brought to the light is crime, blight, and jobs. You still got the mic. You still got the mic. Where that mic?
It's too many liquor licenses in the city of Flint. We only need, it's so big, we only need like 6 liquor stores. They took all the grocery stores out, Landmark, a box of cereal, $1,200. So, I mean, I'm just telling the truth. Everybody don't like it, but it is the truth. I'm living this. If I can't go to Walmart or Myers Way out, I don't get fresh produce. We don't get cases of water for $2.99. Look at some of these stores. You here, go visit them. Look at some of the prices in the stores. It is ridiculous. We are a forgotten grade of people in the city of Flint. Period. Just look at it. I mean, just really look at it. I mean, just look at your wards. Look at them. You sit and go look at them. Go knock on somebody's door and talk to them. Just look at the city of Flint. You cannot be proud of yourself. You cannot be. You can't tell me you is. No matter how y'all sit up, talk about education, degrees, and how you hear, you cannot be proud of the work you're doing. Because if you did, boy, you set yourself at a low standard. Beyond, low.
And then I say see that guy over there with that mask on sitting up by the wall. No, look at my finger over there. That's Mr. Harrison, Block Club. Some of the Block Club members, we said just what you said. We don't want them houses to go to people we don't know. We wanted them to go to us in control. We voted and took 18 of them. From Home Street to name them street, picked them out. The vote was again 4 yes and 5 no, trying to put them back in folks' hands. You got people up here who done heard us talk about it. Been sitting on them houses for 3 years. And not only houses, you know where St. Agnes is at on Pearson Road? Is she in here? Stand up, St. Agnes lady. I said we keeping that because we didn't want that to go into the hands. And we got folks arguing. Jefferson School, Pastor Aldridge and them had passing out water and doing, we voted to transfer that, and now they done let it tell. We can put money into that. We can put money in the houses you talked about. We can do some stuff. and you ain't gonna get away with me not telling you. You did a hell of a job. You got me feeling bad because I'm in a position where I got to try my best to address them problems you brought up. Thank you. Don't let nobody tell you how to talk. I'll talk about people. You can talk about me and everybody else. Thank you so much. Next speaker, Mr. Piper, he wants to say something, and then I have to pay attention. Y'all better keep us quiet up here. This is y'all day. Go ahead, Mr. Piper.
Lottie. Okay. There's a little bit delay. So, Lottie, I love the passion, and I 100% agree with you, and I'm embarrassed. You know, I'm driving up DuPont just now, coming up here, and seeing every other house missing the front door, boarded up, tarps on the roof, and I even looked to see which ones still have snow on the roof. Because if they don't have snow on the roof, they don't have proper insulation. So those people are paying a lot of money, they're cold, they're already in economic, you know, we're not a wealthy city. And I think I was the only one that was a staunch proponent of keeping all of the 658 land bank houses. One, so that we could control the demolitions, the one that need to be demolitioned. We needed to rehab the ones that are rehabbing. By rehabbing, we put people to work. We get them off the streets, we put them to work. And by doing that, we provide homes. We provide homes, we provide jobs, we provide tax revenue for the city. It's a circle, right? Everything and every dollar counts. And that right there, people don't understand. Housing and blight, I should say blight breeds crime. So when we fix our blight and our housing issue, crime will severely drop, I promise you. And to address your liquor store, I've been working with the law department, and it's going to come out in the next couple of weeks, an ordinance that if you're within 300 feet of a residential property, you have to close at 10 p.m. Because the kids and people working that live next to the liquor stores don't need to be subject to that all night long. We need to get back to taking care of our residents, our youth, and we start that one thing at a time. And the liquor stores are 100% a problem. They do nothing, they breed crime, right? And they look at all the shootings. It's right or near a liquor store.
Never get that.
You never get the lives lost back. And that's something we need to look at. Besides the housing, we're losing innocent lives almost daily in the city. Thank you, sir.
All right, now we gonna keep this line moving, but go ahead. I ain't gonna stop what I've been doing. Come on up, but Mr. Murphy wanted the floor. When y'all get tired of hearing us, just holler out. Mays, move the line. Y'all wanna do that? When you get tired of hearing us say, Mays, move the line, and watch what happens. Go ahead, Mr. Murphy. Okay, after Mr. Murphy, we're gonna move the line. Go ahead, you got the floor, Mr. Murphy. All right, we got you.
I can, for the young lady that just got up and spoke, I can listen to you all day, preaching to the choir. The third ward is jacked up to the floor. I mean, when I go and ride around all those houses you talking about, I see it. But you gotta share space that all of us just got elected in November. This problem is years of build up, so it's gonna take a while to get it done. So we're not gonna be able to get it done overnight in this winter time. But for my ward, I mean, when I go down there by Rankin and Dartmouth and Jackson, all of that, it's so many vacant houses. I probably done counted about 1,000 houses in my ward that need to be torn down. I just need to figure out how it's gonna happen. So I hear you, and I just don't have the answer, but I'm trying to figure out what it looks like to get it done.
Move the line. You got the floor, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Bernard Drew. I am a person who loves Flint, loves the people of Flint. And the young lady that was so passionate over here, part of what I heard coming from her was the reality that, and I heard it, and it resonates, that sometimes it's hard to meet the need of the people if you haven't been with the people, felt the pain of the people, lived with the people, served with the people. And part of my concern is that as these funds get dispersed, to what extent will funds go to the hands of organizations and businesses that already have an established track record with the people? I think that there is an incredible opportunity with these resources. I understand fiscal responsibility. You all are tasked with not only having to make decisions on where to send funds, but to make sure they go in the hands of people who can manage it properly, report it properly. And I think that's what part of the issue is. There's organizations like House of Esther, Yvonne Penton, who you just spoke of, with the old St. Agnes building. Her passion and relentless service in this area with single, unwed mothers has been incredible over the years. She needs help with not only funding for the infrastructure of the building, but capital that can help increase the strength and capacity of our organization so that it sustains. In my mind, I'm picturing as an older brother, when I was little, I would tell my brother, come hit me. Let him think in his head he's going to do something. But really, my arms are long enough that I can hold him right here, and he's swinging and swinging and swinging. He's thinking he's going to connect. He's thinking that something's going to happen. But in reality, I know he does not have the reach. And I'm going to let him think he has the reach. And unfortunately, I think that that's what happens in a lot of cases when funding becomes available. There's a lot of motion and movement, but that gap is never bridged. My appeal would be whether it be organizations like House of Esther, the North Flint Food Market. We got this gentleman here behind me, Pastor Derek Watkins, and the Active Voice in Christ. There's so many organizations. Sharice Stapleton, who just spoke in regards to Mothers of Joy University. These are people who are in the trenches. My ask is, will you not only allocate funds to help support their operations and the infrastructure for their programs, the requests that are going forth, but can you also allocate and set aside some funds to help build capacity? You spoke of that, Councilman Murphy, the importance of capacity building. Can you set aside a certain amount of funds to ensure that the money that's received now doesn't just get spent and dissipating, but is creating the track record with people who are here to continue to thrive, not just now, but down the road. That has to be intentional, it has to be on purpose, and it has to come with the right heart. And genuinely, as I'm listening to the discourse today, I believe that our council wants to operate that way. My ask is that you will set aside funds for those purposes, and whether it be to coordinate with the Community Foundation or other organizations that can help with the capacity building. I don't expect the council to facilitate that, but find those strategic relationships that can help implement and make that commitment to build these organizations and these people so that we can be doing this for the next 5, 10, 20 years down the road. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any council response?
Well, let people respond.
Come on up, sir.
I want to hear from the council. Let people talk.
Okay, my name is Pastor Eric Watkins, Pastor Jacob Baptist Church. I'm also the board chair and director of Active Voice in Christ. And I was just here to actually be a spectator and to listen, but something piqued my ears when they started talking about the land bank property. We have purchased, I think it's 2 properties from the land bank, and we're in the process of purchasing 3 more. The first one, we had a house right directly across from Potter Elementary, and it was a drug trafficking squatting house. It was in between the church, our community center, and across the street from the school. Nothing was being done about it. So we had to generate and go down there and make some connections with the land bank, obtain the property, we purchased the property, tore it down, and make sure we can clean up our neighborhood. And as our youth organization, we are structured and designing to teach children skilled trades and life application skills. We started out building little projects at the church, went to building sheds, moved to a tiny house, and last year we just purchased 2901 Arizona property, which was on the demo list for a land bank. If you go on their website, that house is featured on the state of address. We took that house from a demolition project and property, and now it's about to be habitable. And we're being held up by the building department for 3 months trying to get our inspections approved. So we have a house that's sitting there waiting to get purchased by this gentleman that's buying it for his handicapped son. So we do have projects that's going on the east side of Flint. We're in Ward number 4, and we're in the process of purchasing the American Estates mobile home community. You guys know that property? We just went to a board meeting, I believe it was 3 weeks ago, to purchase that property from the land bank so we can build an after-school skilled trades center right on the east side of Flint.
The property that you said you've been waiting 3 months for the inspection department, what's the address right there?
2901 Arizona Avenue.
2901 Arizona. That's you, Ms. President. We're going to see if we can put this on the Governmental Operations Committee meeting Wednesday and talk to Mike Ryder and see what's going on.
I talked to Mike last week, not to cut you off. They're supposed to come out and do our final inspection for this Wednesday. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to move the Genesee land bank along so we can purchase this property, because we do have partners that's willing to help us build this trade facility to actually allow the children to come in after school and learn skilled trades and life application. We teach them about honesty, integrity, self-control, respect, and things like that within our program. And Dylan is one of our participants in our program. No. If it don't move by this Wednesday, I'll call you guys.
All right.
Call me.
All right, call you.
Call Ms. Priestley. And so the programs that you're talking about, is you need a certain amount of funding?
Yes, we're looking for funding. We're gonna we're purchasing a property. And this is a little. They told me one price outside of the meeting, but when I contacted them, they raised the price to almost $25,000 on the property. So it went from like $32,000 to $60,000. So what we're doing is we've been investing our money from our organization into our community to eliminate blight, to improve our neighborhoods by purchasing neighborhood properties, teaching children skilled trades, and putting those properties back into the system that they are utilized within our community.
You're talking my language, so any of us up here, you make sure you let us know specifically what your program needs. You would be better starting with her because it's her ward. But anybody, you can talk money with us and let us know if it's something specifically you need, and then we'll check with the experts to see if it qualifies. We want to help some people. Am I right, Ms. Priestley?
And that's going to be on the east side. The address of the American Estates where the training center will be built is 2701 Branch Road. It's right down the street from our church. And we have this design of this training facility, have classrooms, commercial kitchen, because we have an executive chef come in and teach them how to cook. We have licensed skilled trades guys come in and teach them skilled trades. I'm a master electrician by record and by trade. I work for Goyette Mechanical, held their license. So we have skilled individuals willing to work with our youth right here in the city of Flint. We just need support and leadership from that.
You ain't the pastor or the deacon or something at the church.
I'm the pastor of Jacob.
I want to try to make it to heaven. You got the flow.
Yeah, I'm a pastor of Jacob Baptist Church. We started this ministry just over almost 5 years ago.
When I was campaigning and I was knocking on doors, I heard nothing but great things about your organization. And unfortunately, because of my work schedule and the council, I haven't been able to get a hold of you. But please reach out to me. I will do everything I can to take time out of my work day to talk to you on the phone, because I really want to work with you. And I'm glad you came.
Come right. Come give her your phone number and contact information. Walk right up. You done? Next speaker. Yeah, man, if I can help some preachers, Pastor Glenn in here, I might can make it to heaven. Go ahead, man. I'm gonna try to make it in.
Hello, my name is Keisha Tudor. I want to thank you all first of all for being represented.
Hold up, y'all, they still. Now you ready, go ahead.
All right, just thank you all for being representatives for your awards. I am here to advocate for mental health support, which I've always done, as well as prison reform. I don't know why prison reform has not been a topic for city council, because we are at a 95% crime rate right now, at the highest it's ever been. And prison reform also assists with the prevention of crime. So I've been working diligently on prison reform with different organizations, grassroots organizations, like Vanguard's ministry, who Rodney Porter definitely represents the community with May Institute in our community, Leon Elamine, who's been doing a big deal right here in the city of Flint. So I'm hoping that the city council will look at mental health, grassroots organizations that have been on the ground working in the community. I'm hoping you guys will take heed to that and understand that without addressing mental health, especially with the water crisis, with the poisoning of our children, with the way the crime is going, if you do not address mental health and prison reform, we are going to constantly be in a state of chaos. So I'm just here to advocate and hope that you guys will hear the grassroots organizations that's on the ground working on these specific issues like mental health.
Could I ask you a question?
Yes.
Could you do us a favor by identifying the organizations and how much each one of them requests?
Well, I actually own and operate Deliverance Supportive Services.
What's the name of it?
Deliverance Supportive Services.
And how much you think you would request?
We currently operate 4 housing units here in the city of Flint. So our budget consists of providing personal hygiene products like toilet paper, soap, tissue to people re-entering into the community out of prison that needs mental health services. We get our clients from Genesee Health System, which is all mental health and dual diagnosed substance abuse issues. So we have actually put together a budget that we're gonna submit. Yeah, we're gonna submit it. But I'm just here to advocate that it's an important issue right here in the city of Flint, and I'm hoping that you guys as a whole will address it.
I'm glad you said as a whole. You read stuff, right?
I am.
And I know some of them have. Make sure you talk specific organization and specific money amounts.
Okay.
Even if you don't do that, but put it on a piece of notebook paper.
Okay.
All right? All right.
Okay, thank you.
I'm hoping I can make it to heaven, Pastor Fred.
Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. Good evening. My name is Reverend Freelon Frelkel Jr., and I pastor the Faith Baptist Temple, 1073 East Grand Boulevard. I'm a graduate of Flint Central. I live in the first ward, 214 East Pulaski. I've been in Flint since 1953, in the year of the tornado in the Beachy District. I come to you this evening on the invitation of my council person, Mr. President Eric Mays. But every time I address Brother Mays, he talk about he want to go to heaven. We all want to go to heaven. But there's a scripture, 2 Chronicles 7:14, and I quote, "If my people that are called by my name," and here's some prerequisites. You got to humble yourself. You've got to learn how to pray. And you've got to seek Jesus while you're on your way. And after you put all that together, he said, you got to turn from your wicked ways. Now the Bible says there are none righteous, no, not one. Romans 3:10. And I come to you this evening. I've always been concerned about authority in my community. Our Sunday school lesson this past Sunday was, how do you confront your authority when they are wrong? From the outhouse to the White House. Sometimes you are wrong. This council has been wrong for many years. And each time we get voted new people, it seems that there's a confrontation with authority. Now my mayor, he says that he can't get along with you all. I've been hearing that it takes 5 votes to get business done in this city. But when I'm around the mayor, he laughs at you all because you can't handle your business. And I'm saying to you, get your business together for us as people in this city. It's time out. I got the mic, Mr. President. Time is out. We are taxpayers. I like what I see here. Economics, develop, and blight elimination. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know how much we're going to get, but I think all of you need to prayerfully consider that first bucket. Because when you got $1 in your pocket and you got a roof over your head and you are healthy, you are somebody. And that's why I come this evening to ask you prayerfully, get your act together. Learn to become humble. Pray. Seek the power of Jesus Christ while it may be found. Now, I know a lot of people say preachers get out of hand, but I'm proud to be one. And I haven't been a preacher all my life. I just turned 80 this June the 8th. And I'm thankful for what I have. I live at 214 East Pulaski. I've been there 58 years. I own my home. I bought it in 1964. And I strive to do what is right. I'm not perfect because Romans 10 says there are none righteous. Now politics begin at home. Local politics. And then some of y'all want to play politics. Jesus has some supporters with him. And one of them became a trickster. His name was Judas. We have a problem in our nation. In the words of Jeremiah Wright, government failed. Roman government failed. British government failed. Every government that has ruled has failed And you know what? America government is failing. Black History Month been set aside. I'm black every day. When I wake up, I'm black. When I go to bed, I'm black. But it seemed like the system, the gatekeepers, are holding down people that look like me. And the sad part about it, some of the ones that's holding me down look like me, act like me. I'm sick and tired of it. That's why I vote. And when I vote for who I want. Mr. President said, tell us what you want. I want you to sit down prayerfully and distribute this money equally all over those, how many is it? 2, 4, 5 buckets. And make sure that it's equally distributed on the north end. I'm wearing a hoodie right now. I got on the front of it talking about a food market. I heard y'all dance around that. Well, I heard Mr. Flynn this and that. Well, Mr. Flynn is the CEO of the North Flint Reinvestment Association. I happen to be on the board of directors of the investment. You may not be able to get a hold of Flynn, but you can get a hold of me in the corner by that good-looking secretary clerk over there, Sister Inez Brown. I've got applications right here in my hand. I don't know why the Lord told me to take these with you. Now I want you to distribute that money equal. And I want it to be done right. If it takes 5 votes, get together. Work it out. You can do it. You were elected. And somebody say you work for us anyway. I wish I could garnish the President of the United States check. This ain't work for me. If I could garnish y'all, whatever y'all get, I would do it. But I'd rather have you to work together. This is what we got to do. We've got to come together, yellow, black, and brown, short, fat, ugly, and good looking. Got to come together. You can do it. I hate to see the mayor laughing. Every Friday, he's on the radio laughing at you. And sometimes I want to grab that little fella and snatch him. But they'll put me in jail. I just want you to come together. Show a little humbleness among each other. I watch some of y'all. Your mannerism. Just tell me you're not interested in the residents of Flint. And as I close, I pray for you. And I came out tonight because my council person invited me. And I tried to attend all of them. I like this. Write them little questions on little cards, what they call them, index cards. That ain't where it's at. This is where it's at, Mr. That's right. This is where it is, Tommy Byrne. This is where it's at, Sister Carter, and my good friend, Murphy. Amen. And Dr. Lewis. That's where it's at. And you need to take notes, because I'm watching you. I host a show every Saturday morning. Let's talk about it. And I will talk about it. Because my mission is to cause you to stop and to think, evaluate, and think, and then make a moral decision. Now, these residents here, there's a song now called Sweep Around Your Own Front Door. There's work to be done on both sides. We put you in office, and we can sweep you out. God bless you.
Yes, sir. Money-wise, you have no problem with us funding this qualified $600,000 for the North Flint Food Market.
But Mr. President, when will it get in?
Get the money.
Just when will it get in our treasure? Y'all talk that talk. Internet mailed me a little card the other day. Yeah, Internet. And in the budget for the state of Michigan, it's a big green card, 2 by something, and it says on there $460,000 for the Flint food market. Our mayor, the city of Flint, we're gonna give you 20,000, this and that, but it ain't got to our treasure yet. When it get to my treasure, then I'm with you. And I got application for each one of y'all. I don't want to embarrass nobody just to see who's a member up there. But if you're not, come on round the back door here. I'll be over in the corner. Amen. But that's what we want. I want all you can get. I'll take $1 million. Don't fool with that other $1,000.
Let me say this. I won't sign that application until after I vote. I don't want to have to abstain for conflict of interest.
No problem.
But now let me say this also.
No problem.
The 600,000, that project is in the middle of construction. Some colleagues believe we should budget all the money in different categories before we spend a dime. I don't believe that.
Meaning?
I believe when you got 94 million, you can spend 8, 12, 20 before you spend all of it. I believe you can budget along the way. So the answer to your question, when, that's a whole nother sermon. When will 5 people believe that we can spend it as we go and we don't have to budget it all? But now if the ones who believe we should budget it all, I wish they would show me where all this gonna go so we can start spending. I believe we can allocate 10, 20, 30 million or whatever as we continue to budget the rest.
All right, Mr. President, let me help you. Pfeiffer asked a question. This type of store is a co-op store built on membership within the community. I really don't have to wait on your money. I appreciate your money. We want all the money we can get because you're part of the community. My thing is, we have 960 members right now. We got $220,000 in a bank right now. We're in the midst of renovating, and this is a $9 million project. So you bring your money anytime. I told Anna, where's the $446,000? But it's built on membership. All of these citizens here, I don't know how many of y'all are members of it, but I got application, and I'll be over here next to Sister Inez Brown. And Mr. President, before I sit down, I want to give each one of y'all an application.
I'm willing to tell you. Thank you, Pastor. Can we get, and this is serious, can we get an amen? Amen. All right. Pastor Flynn, you got to appreciate your board.
Is he here?
Yeah.
I should have had him up here.
Okay. All right. Now we got the next speaker. Before you cut it on, sir, hold on. When you heard Pastor Threlkill talk about the first part on that paper, economic development, even though he talked about the specific grocery store, economic development and creating jobs is high category. You got the floor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, council. Thank you, residents of the community. I first want to say that I feel blessed to be a part of this community. In this room, I see strength. I see power.
That's right.
I see a commitment to produce change.
There you go.
And you may hear my voice, don't make fun of me, but I'm not from here. I'm from North Carolina, Fayetteville, North Carolina. Although I may not be from Flint, I come from struggle. I grew up in the depths of poverty, addiction, mental health struggles. I got a mom who's lost an addiction. I got 5 siblings who are on the brink of death in it. And I'm committed to making change happen. And tonight I get a lot of people who are committed to that, and that is why I've chosen to raise my family here. That is why my children will be in this community and build relationships that will change lives. And so I want to ask a question. How do we actually produce change? I believe it takes connection and it takes trust. Because when I was coming out of struggle, that's what it took for me. You can't speak into somebody's life unless they trust you. And to do that, you gotta get to know them and build relationships with them. And that's what I'm committed to doing, and that's what we do at Crossover Outreach. 414 West Flint Street. We've been serving hurting people, loving on hurting people for 30 years, providing food, clothing, hygiene products, cleaning products, youth programs, connecting people with the amazing resources that are in our community. We produce life change. We restore hope. We're on the ground doing the necessary work to produce outcomes. And so you don't have to look far to find ways to invest this money. If you invest in these ministries and these organizations that are here, you will see change happen. But we can't waste this money. So we need to put it where it's going to produce change. And we've been in the midst of a capital campaign for 5 years to build a new building, because if you visit our center, it's fallen apart around us. And we're loving on so many people, thousands and thousands and thousands of people every year, and yet we don't even have a building sufficient enough to efficiently, effectively, and productively serve these people. And so we need a building. We've raised $1.9 million. We need 600,000 more to make this project happen this year. And we're asking you to consider making that happen. It will be an investment that changes lives for 10, 20, 30, 40 years to come. It is a worthwhile investment. I thank you all for your time. I want to respect it. God bless you.
Let me ask you. Can you repeat the address? I'm here in West Court. Repeat the address.
414 West Court Street, Flint, 48503.
What is the name of the organization?
Crossover Outreach.
Crossover Outreach. Yeah. And the request is somewhere up around 600,000.
651,000.
Is you a preacher?
I went to Bible school.
Yeah, I want to make it there. Thank you.
Well, my brother over here told us the ways.
Okay. All right.
My name is Ken.
Welcome to Flint.
Thank you.
And you came from North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Flint. Welcome to the North Side. Welcome to the First Ward. We hear you. Let's see what happens. Don't ease up on this request. Anybody got a note, or anybody know what he's saying? We got that taken down. Thank you, sir. Next speaker, Ms. Clara Clinton.
Well, good evening, council, and thank you for having this meeting. I'm hoping that this meeting is certainly, I'm a proud Flintstone tonight, listening to all these great residents. And I hope that you all, especially those of you that don't live in this area, are hearing what the people are saying. Now, I just got a couple of things. Number one, we've had millions and millions of dollars to come into this city, but we don't feel that. Why? Because the money from the feds went to the state, the governor, Snyder, and he distributed the money to the money people. All them folks down there at the Genesee, my foundation building, and I will name some names next time. But that money was siphoned from, it was supposed to go to us to mitigate the water crisis, but we got bypassed and people got rich and downtown got pretty and all this. Well, we want to help City of Flint. And we're going to have to stop that with this money. Your partners are sitting out here. They're not downtown. We the partners. Yeah, we're the partners. We're the partners. Yeah, and so I'm hoping that y'all will listen to the voices of the community, because the issues that was brought up tonight should not exist after all that money got dumped into this city. And you all know it. And if you don't, you shouldn't be sitting up there. I want to switch gears a little bit, because I know that some of that rescue money can be used for assistance to help people pay their water bills.
Yeah.
We're not against people getting assistance with their water bills. As a matter of fact, we would like to see y'all set up staff from the agencies down at City Hall or in the mini stations to help residents fill out those convoluted, complicated applications to get help with their water bills.
Right.
Everybody's not on internet. Everybody's not on Facebook. A lot of residents need help to get their help. So I'd like to see that assistance program be brought front and center where people can get their hands on it. But in the meantime, in between time, if you pay my water bill today, as high as our water rates are, I'll be right back there in 3 or 4 months. So we got to do something better than assistance. What we have been proposing is a water affordability program in the city of Flint. A water affordability program means that your water bills are tied to your income and not your usage. Now, I know that's revolutionary, but we used to revolutionary change in Flint. We had the sit-down strike.
Yeah.
We go for it. We don't mind, but we don't mind busting up the structure to get a quality of life for residents. Don't be scared of that.
Yeah.
We made history. We had the first black mayor in a major city. So new revolutionary change is not nothing foreign to us.
That's
So
right.
we really want y'all to examine the water affordability program, not in relationship just to the rescue funds, which they may say you don't, but to look at it as a strategy to bring us up out of these water rates have been a problem even before the water crisis.
Right.
And if you're talking about the quality of life, how many of those 600 homes was lost due to water? Nobody should lose their home because they can't pay their water bill.
Amen.
That's crazy. So we want you to look at that. We want you to also look at suspending water turnoffs in the city of Flint. And people say, well, you can't suspend turnoffs because if you do that, people won't pay their bills. That's not true. I'll tell you who didn't pay their bill. The landlord in Sussex didn't pay their bill. When the people was paying rent and the water was included in the rent, and the absentee landlord didn't pay the bill, and they turned the people water off and condemned the building, and families got put out.
That's right.
That's who don't pay their bills, is the rich people.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Ridgecrest, they didn't pay their water bill. So evidence is shown from Philadelphia and Baltimore, who's already had some experience with water affordability. When you give people a fair and just rate to pay, they're going to pay it. We pay our damn bills. General Motors don't pay their bills.
Yeah.
All these people y'all giving tax abatements to, they ain't paying their bill.
Amen.
All right now. So I'm just saying, I'm putting that on the agenda. I hope you take it into consideration. Our Flint Ombudsman reported in the 2020 report to the city that the water was one of the top 3 issues of the Ombudsman.
That's right.
The city of Philadelphia, they had a report last March. If any of y'all want it, I'll send it to you. They said the people is paying their water bills better than what they were before. Because what? Because they can afford it.
All right.
So this rescue plan is different. This money that you're getting is different because you don't have to go through the governor. You don't have to, it don't have to be vetted. We are your partners, the community. That's our money, and I'm so proud of the people who came here tonight to claim our money. Thank you.
Would you put that mic up? Let me say this. The water expenditure is a big issue. When Ms. McClin talked about, I talked to a young lady in here already. And this bill's out there, $3,000, $5,000, $4,000. Don't worry about me. You know that church song, when you talk of my water bill, don't you worry about me. Mine $3,000. When they said not to cut, I'm gonna pay my Social Security. I pay it when it's necessary. But the point is this. The point is this. When they said we not shutting people off because of COVID, and this money is COVID related, we gotta look at that. I'm gonna give you some news. I don't care if Michigan recorded or not. Those water no shut-offs, guess how much the building got to? We got in 94 million. But we got 40 million, I'm gonna repeat, 40 million in delinquency. Now, is this community gonna say to Councilman Mays and this council, spend 40 million of the 94? That's still plus 54 million. We don't know. But what Ms. McClin brought up in the middle of this water crisis is a dynamite issue. We will address it hopefully some way, somehow. 40 million, well, you can minus 3,000. 40 million minus 3,000, I'm gonna pay mine. But the point is, it was COVID related. And Mr. Neely, in my opinion, shouldn't have been hollering, I ain't cutting water off. If you ain't gonna cut it off, don't say it. Just see what happens and don't cut it off. So we got a juggling act in that area, and it might qualify. Next speaker, please.
Hello, my name is Jeanette Edwards. I'm president of Browndale Homes Neighborhood Association. I've been in this area 45 years. I raised my kids here and I worked. I'm between two schools. And I want to ask you guys to please get a block clubs a portion of that money. We are out here doing the work. I have did so many cleanups in this area. We have been instrumental on making a library on the corner of Janice Drive and Oxley, where I advocate to get books. I need some more books. I don't want raggedy books. I want to get some new books. I also want to get books that looks like me and my children and y'all children. I want that. I need money for that. I'm going sitting in the water line 3 hours and take it to Mary down the street or to Johnny up the street. I'm taking food out of my house and giving it to people who don't have food because they had COVID and couldn't work for 3 months, and the people lost their jobs. And they people calling me every day. Do you have food? Miss Evans, do you have what? I'm going to give it to them. Now, I'm going to beg and borrow. I can't steal, but I'm going to beg and borrow. So us Bar Club members all over Flint are helping our citizens. Why can't we? I don't have nothing against the agencies, but we are the little people. We are working. And everybody that asks me, if the third ward asks me, the second ward, the first ward, I'm in the first ward. Come, Miss Edwards, and help me pass out water, help me clean up. We have came and do that. Everybody in my block club is 65 and older. We're tired. I asked for them to tear a house down in my neighborhood on Holmes Avenue. People go up in there. They set the house on fire. It wasn't torn down. I had a house next to my library. It was on the demolition list. We asked Land Bank, and I love Land Bank. I love the people who work there when my block club members are in there. It got taken off the demolition list, and they sold it to somebody else, and it's right next to my library. That person that had that house 4 years, haven't cleaned it up, haven't done nothing to it, but it was sold to them. But when my kids come to the library from the school, they gotta walk past that house.
Mm-hmm.
It's people going up in that house. Why couldn't they give us that house?
That's right.
We would have fixed it up. I'm trying to get a house in my neighborhood. So when somebody have a problem, they can come in. When the kids want to read, they can come to the house and read. We're in partnership with University of Michigan Flint. We're in partnership with Habitat. We're in partnership with North Flint Action Council. Hurley Medical Center, GHP, GHS. These people are willing to help us. I can't even get a house. I can't get nothing in this neighborhood that I can have the kids on Saturday when mama and daddy fighting, a boyfriend doing this, to come there and talk to us for a couple of hours. Yep. Why can't that happen? We are a block club. I'm not no big organization, but we doing the work like a big organization. So please, when y'all be allocating that money, think of the block clubs. Think of the little people. Amen. Like me and everybody else. We got so many block clubs around here that we are working. I want an art project this summer in my block area, in the library, that we put books in. People come and get it. The idea is to come get the book, read it, bring it back. I tell them, you ain't got to bring it back. Because if it's in the house, Johnny going to read it. Or Mama going to read it to the little baby. That's how we are. I need things in my block club. I didn't pay taxes for 40-some years in this neighborhood. People come in, they get a grant, and do a little bit in our neighborhood, and they gone.
Yeah.
We tired of that. Put it where it belongs. Y'all doing a good job, and I would like to see y'all with more love.
Hey.
Smile at each other. Hey. I may not like you, you may not like me. But when I look at you, I'm going to say, how you doing? You need anything? How your kids doing? Yeah. That's the kind of community council we want. Yeah. Love each other, smile at each other. If you have a disagreement, go to that person after you get off and say, I want to talk to you about that. That's right. Don't fight in front of people, because I'm people calling me way from down south. What kind of community council y'all got? Yeah. And that hurts my feelings. It hurts to where we want to cry.
That's right.
Don't argue with each other. Smile at each other. Shake hands. That's right. And then when you get behind closed doors, like my daddy say, what happened behind closed doors? You keep it behind closed doors. Yeah. Thank y'all. I love y'all. I want y'all to love me. I want y'all to love the neighborhoods on the north end as well as downtown. And another thing, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off this down. When we have somebody from the city of Flint that says if those people want a porch fest or want to do something or want to see something, hear music, they better come downtown. We was able to have porch fest in our neighborhood this year. No last year. No fights, no arguments. People from all over the state came and listened to the music in my front yard. But then you're going to have a city person say those people need to come downtown. I don't want my kids and grandkids downtown. Okay. I want them to come here.
All right.
Why is that not possible? Why is I got to go over there and see pretty flowers and swings? I got a handicapped grandson in a wheelchair. But can he roll up in the park? No, because the grass. It's a lot of things going on in this neighborhood, but I can't take him to it. Because at DTM, they got carpet down there, in and out. Y'all can talk to Home Depot or Lowe's and let them donate that so that people in wheelchairs can roll on up in there and listen to music or play or get on the swing.
All right.
Thank y'all, and y'all have a blessed day.
Before you put the mic down, Mr.
I said, that's the best block club leader in the first ward, and I was saying it in front of Sean Harrison, who was the second best, and we got another one in here and some new ones, but that's Miss Evans. They done got grants, then did cleanups. I've been dealing with it and watching it for 7, 8 years. Well, 9 now. Miss Edwards, how much money should we try to see if we can get to your block club? And that might give us an idea for other block clubs. Yeah, but I just want to hear a bit.
All I need is $750, not $750, $7,050. I got that park we made. People ran up there with their cars. I asked for lights. For lights to go around Logan's Park and around my library. Did I get them? Some of them, I got 4 in my library. But the man ran through and we had put a grant in for Community Foundation. He ran over my benches.
And the reason I ask how much, because that gives me a feel if we look at organizations, because some block clubs have their 501c3, correct?
Right, we don't.
Right, but it might be organizations we can deal with to help with that money. So I wanted to get a feel of it. I hope all the council people get a feel of their block clubs. Sean, Miss Edwards, even the lady behind you. If we got 10 block clubs in the first ward, $10,000 ain't but $50,000. If you got 9 council people and they had 10, y'all help me with the arithmetic. 8 council people, that would be
550,000.
That's 400,000. You're 50,000 per ward. So what you raise is an issue about funding block clubs, and you've given me an idea of a figure. So I can appreciate that. Any other council person want to say something before we move the line? It looked like you done woke up some folks. I'm gonna go with Miss Burns, then Miss Lewis, and we'll see where we're at. How the line doing?
Moving up.
Move that line. Go ahead, Miss Burns, you got the floor.
Okay, don't leave Miss Beth, but Miss Claire McClinton, where are you? There you go. You are absolutely right. Money came into this community and we did not see it on the north side.
Not at all.
Every event, I believe in having economic development, essentially having a great downtown because that's our nucleus, but we need to have all around town. And our neighborhoods and our black communities are left out. And I want to give you, because there is a report where this money went. It went to Uptown Reinvestment, got $20 million.
Wow.
We have got, I'm just going to say a couple, YMCA in Lansing. So when we talk about the money, and there's millions, it did not go in our community. It did not. And we have to make sure that this does not happen again.
All right.
We have to make sure. And I will share, because I was here, and I know, and I do my research. And I will share this with my colleagues for those who don't have it. Because this is millions of that. Some of the categories, Ms. McClinton, they don't even have a list of who they sent the money to. The money was dispersed through the state of Michigan, through the Michigan Strategic Fund. It was not dispersed to our city from our prior administration. They were not writing out checks to anybody. That's not how it went. It came from the state of Michigan. Our local municipality was not over this money. And there were millions. We actually paid and financed to represent our own self for Todd Flood for the water crisis. That came out of this. We shouldn't have to pay that. That should have been picked up by the state. So I want to, speak to that. Ms. Jeanette, I want to talk to you about book clubs. Do you know we have black authors here? We have local black authors with published books. And one of our black authors, she sits on she's president of the school board. We need to make sure that we start getting together in meetings like this so we can start networking within our own communities, supporting our own communities. And guess what? On her books are girls that look like us. Their skins are different shades of brown. So we need to make sure we continue to support our community and share the information. You talk about Porch Fest. I love some culture, some arts and crafts, some music. I love that, and we have to have more of that. Your park is getting tore up because somebody driving through. I had the same thing in my park, where somebody drove their vehicle, white Durango, all over my park. No one was fixing that. We have got to send someone, volunteers, to fix the lawn, fix the grass. So when we talk about that and strengthening block clubs, the value of a block club is so important because we have excellent, great, dynamic block club presidents like you. You make our communities wonderful. So without you, we can't do. We have to work together, and this is about all of us. It takes me. It takes all of us. I think all of us collectively want our communities to be great. I want every side of town to get the same attention, not just one side. So I understand what you're saying, and he does always talk about how great you are. He does kind of brag on his people a lot, which is good, but we need to have a brag on our block club presidents competition. So, because there's so many people like you, stay engaged, and for everyone, come to council. We should have, when you come to council, they know you are serious about voting. You don't have to come every time. Step up to that mic, bring your children. Little Dylan, well, he's not there right now. Well, Dylan, when Dylan comes, this is an experience. Raise our children up into the way we want them to go. We need to let them see that we are fighting for change. And it takes us to work with you. And you had a couple. I'm going to leave that right there because, your home, the home that if you can please give me the address, I will contact, because as you were talking, before you were talking, my computer, I was emailing back the director, Michael Freeman, about 3 properties to tear down in my neighborhood in the 6th ward. So if you can send me that, I will send that for you, and I'll add that to my list. And there is a demo list. It's an unfunded, but they are doing some emergency tear downs that are coming up. But I will add that in it and get your number before I leave, and along with Councilman Mays. But I'll add that to the list.
Let me say this. If I'm not mistaken, she was saying they wanted the house and the land bank gave it to somebody else, correct? Yeah.
The one on Holmes we won't cut.
That's the one you want to go down in between Oxley and Clio Road.
That's the one that we couldn't get.
Yeah, the one next to the library, you couldn't get the 2 on Holmes between Oxley and Clio Road. That's the one you want to go down.
Well, we did, I got a grant from Community Foundation last year before last, and we did buy books from our author that's skin like mine, hair like mine. We ordered from her to give out to the kids, because it's called Champion of Excellence. Every year I give that, I get grants and give it for the special kids, because they get left out. Yeah. I don't want the special kids to get left out of nothing. It's really against the law. So Champion of Excellence is Brownell Homes Neighborhood Association's baby. And I'm putting in a grant to get funds to have it again this year.
I got 2 concerns. Beverly, what time is we need to be out of here? No, you got to be cool. Hold up back there. I know who he is. Go ahead, Beverly.
But we're going to finish this line.
Okay, Miss Liddell Lewis, you got the floor. I told them when they get tired, holler, and they holler and move that line. I asked them to do that. Miss Liddell Lewis, you got the floor. But Miss Jeanette Edwards brought up block club funding. That's the point.
Okay, Miss Edwards. She disappeared. Oh, it's fine. I didn't want you to hear it. So the 2 parks in the 2nd ward, we got a Disney grant, and part of our grant, we're making Service Park and Iroquois Park ADA compliant. So we are working on that. Just wanted you to know that. Okay. You're more than welcome. And as far as us, if you don't mind, Miss Vivian, can I cut you in line? Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
All right, thank you so much. So this is a testimony on behalf of a second ward constituent that could not make it. And she wanted to say, can we trim trees, install LED lighting on all of our consumers' energy poles, light up our parks, install cameras, landscape our main streets, improve Flint Park and other parks within the 9 wards, large community gardens, and etc. And also, can we allocate $3 million for each ward to do these long-lasting ward improvements? Thank you.
Okay. Let me say this. We couldn't make it through this line because all of them emails and texts that come into us, we still got weeks ahead to address. We done risked our life coming out here with these masks on and COVID. I'm serious. I know people catching COVID and dying. We done risked our life, and y'all in that line risking yours. Let's hear what you got to say.
I like to just say that I appreciate the council board to be on one accord because I want in my ward, I want us to invest in video doorbell. Oh, nice. I mean, we do it in all the wards, but I like my ward because I hear gunshots all night, all morning, anytime.
Video doorbells, that would fall under homeowners category. And it could be crime prevention. So any more you want to say?
No, that's it.
Ain't that something? Y'all got a note of that? We got to figure out. And that ain't a bad request, man. Next speaker. Video doorbell.
Eric. I am shocked you said you had a $3,000 award.
Well, you might. I hope you don't fall out, because it's true.
No, I don't want to fall out. Good evening, Council. My name is Jerry Clark. I'm with the North Flint Neighborhood Action Council, as well as Sharp Manor. Some of the issues that I have on this list have actually been spoken about, but nevertheless, there's always still more. One of these things.
Okay, so I'm sitting right here and I'm talking to her.
Give her a little order, give us a little respect. We got 3, 4, 5 people in line. The host, Beverly's been gracious. Let's be courteous. Let us receive this information from the lady that's shopped. Go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, now on this list is we got down that we should give the homeowners. In my neighborhood, I have a lot of seniors that have already paid their dues and own their home. But I heard somebody mention that, they can't get the roof done, or if they wanted doors or windows or something like that, they have to wait 5 years. And sometimes during those 5 years, the reason you have to wait is because you're always $5, $10, $15, $20 above their budget. Yeah. Which, makes no sense to me. You still need windows and doors. So why is there some kind of a limit when you have a need and, we done worked 30 years and paid our dues and want to stay in our homes? We don't want to go anywhere. Right. And so a lot of people, that's what they're doing. But some of the seniors, they're braving the cold. It was cold last week. And some of them, hey, I got this draft. My windows, got a draft around that, but I can't get nobody to help. And I did see someone here from Habitat. But, you go down there, well, your pension is too high. You have too much income coming in. You have to shave off some of this. And they're like me. I don't want to have to lack. I don't want to have to lack to get something done if I'm going to get something done. Skirt the truth. Oh, there you go. But let me get through this. Then we have that we should have a company. I'm here on the northern Flint. Been here, 24 years. Hire a patrol company to patrol the area. How do we, because a lot of them have said we hear gunshots all the time. We hear gunshots all the time, and when you do call, either they don't come, and they're so used to the police not coming. What are they gonna come for? We have people taking siding off of a house, and then when you tell them, well, we call the police. What you gonna call them for? They ain't coming. You know, the criminals already know that they ain't coming. You know, so, and another thing, while you all are this far north, and I wish it was daytime, I want you to go on the east side, cross Martin Luther King, and go from Pearson Road to Carpenter Road on any one of those streets. And you'll see the desolation over there.
Yeah.
We actually had kids come here to help us from U of M. They did not, hear me, did not get out of the car because they was just so scared. They had never seen anything like that. So when you're talking about spending this money, make sure it's allocated evenly and not just in one spot. Downtown looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Some on the west side looks beautiful. Cross that bridge, which a lot of them refuse to do. And, you know, that's when you start seeing things going downhill. Everybody keeps saying we want to help, we want to do this, we want to do that. Okay, but I've been here all my life, really. But I've been here. And sometimes I can go down some of these streets and I'd be devastated. I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah.
This is where we want to spend our money. Mr. Murphy, this is for you. We've been working with you in the community and everything. Before I say this, okay, now you were talking about the water, paying the $40 million for water. County got money. We can get that $40 million from the county to help pay that water. But Mr. Murphy, you told me, and probably Miss Jeanette and some of the other ones, that when we go and approach people for money, stop asking for this chicken change. And you had said, start going from 23 million and up. Thank you.
All right, the next speaker, you touched on crime, you touched on blight, and you touched on home ownership. And so we're going to have to figure out how much money in each category to see how we can stretch it and make it work. Those three areas, I bet you'll get some attention. Keep in mind, any specific organization and or money amounts will go ahead, man. I know who that is.
Hi there, my name is Bethany Hazard. My name is Bethany. And I just want to say I just figured out where my neighbor lived. His mother died like 5 years ago. He's like 25 years old. He was trying to keep his mom's house, but he couldn't afford the water here. And he got laid off from his job. Well, now I got another empty house, and I got a lot of empty houses around me now. It's terrible. And so we do need a water affordability program. Even if people are working, this water is ridiculous. I mean, it's like I can't even have company because me and my sister that came to visit me from out of state didn't believe me how high the water was. We got to fight about her taking too many baths. You can't take more than 3 baths a week here. I got to go buy water for people to drink, but they don't realize you can't release the bottles. You have to drink all the way down. You can't open another one. I don't care if it's warm. I've had to turn into a super mean lady to survive in this town. It's not right. So we do need water affordability. Another thing, I want to say that they were talking about what happened to this area. I went to meetings a few years ago and I was appalled and shocked. I think it was called Imagine Flint or something like that. I went to a meeting. They were telling the people, they were sitting down there and telling the people where to put these dots. I'm sitting here, put a dot here. That's going to be green space. Put a dot here. That's going to be some nice area, Kelly. That's going to be housing. All of this area was green space. And then they said, this is what the people want. No, people didn't want that. You were telling us where to put these stupid dots. I'm serious. I was there. I went to 2 of those meetings and made me sick. And there they said, this is what the people want. Are you serious? One older gentleman, he got what spoke because he lived in North End. I don't know what his name was. I'll never forget him. His face is in my mind. I don't know who he was. He was saying that I am not a farmer. They were talking about turning North End into a farm. He said, I am not a farmer. I'll never forget this. He said, I'm a retired shopper. And they were talking about turn this area into a farm. That's so sad to me that they would do that to people, run them out of their neighborhoods. And where I live, I agree with this liquor stuff. I live in a black liquor store. You know how many people have moved because of the crap that goes on down there? It's ridiculous. They got like 5 liquor stores in my little area where I live. They let the Chase Bank be illegal gambling. Anything that Schwartz Creek or Grand Lake would allow here, they allow here. So that you're not gonna get people with families living here. Nobody wants to raise kids around a bunch of booze stores and gambling joints. So that's all I have to say.
Bethany, good to see you.
Hello.
See you too, always.
Good to see you. And you spoke about water and water affordability and some of the crime and hanging out there. Go ahead. Is that Mr. Ray Hall?
Yeah.
If it is, you got the floor. Let's move along.
Lisa to you all. And Lisa love to Indian. I am here today. I'm very nervous because I love y'all. Somebody gave me the wrong time. So I got my cleaning over there and everything. So I have to do the shopping before I got here. I was trying to look good for you. You know I was going to look like the hunter. But just to get to the point, most of the council mostly knows what I come to them about. And I got respect for all y'all. Never trying to show you up or anything. It's just like I said, Mother Nature is pushing me to get out here to talk to y'all. Matriarch, a woman, giver of life, is forcing me to speak to my comfort and to you all. I'm telling you, I really don't know. But anyway, there's money set aside to clean Devil's Lake. And that's what it's become, the devil, to our community. Instead of Flint Park Lake and the master plan. I've talked with the EPA, and they're telling me off straight point that, hey, you know, if the city of Flint doesn't want to stop poisoning its own water supplies, then we're going to have to call it sludge, or whatever. And we'll clean it up, and we'll sue the city of Flint. Well, I talked to Mayor Neely, and I talked to whatever his name is, Brown. And both of them agreed at a council meeting on the second ward, right down there in the little building, whatever it is. And they both said if we get to use ARPA funds, we would have the lake clean. I called back Mr. Brown, thought he wanted to have lunch that day. You know, I guess he thought it was funny or whatever. Talking about if we use that aquifer, the whole city will dry up in a day. You know, all this stuff like that. Well, you never used aquifer in the first place. So why are you worried about it now? Since you worked there before and you've been here. So I ain't trying to go no malice towards anybody. All I'm saying is that he told me and the mayor that we can use these ARPA funds to clean that river. I don't know how long y'all lived here and how long it's been since that pristine lake hasn't been cleaned. Our environment would change if we had a pristine lake. Our children be thinking about nature and growing garbage, doing anything, doing science and stuff that all the counties around here are doing, except Flint, because it's like we've been positioned to be deaf. But get to the point though. They both agreed to it. They both agreed that if I came before the council, and the council agreed,
microphone,
and the council agreed to use the money, the ARPA funds, to clean the lake, they would agree along with it, and boom, it goes to the door. Well, you know, now they're taking the preachers to the side, and they make deals, or whatever. I don't know what you call that. Maybe they just praying together. But I'm saying the money is there. That if I got to sue the city of Flint, because it's mostly everything we do talk about, it goes in one another. City of Flint being kicked under the bus, and you know, it be stupid. Because it hurt my heart yesterday to hear that the attorney's getting $48 million. You know how much I'm getting? $100. And I've been out here from the top. 48 off the top, let alone what they're going to get later on. And you know, maybe we all don't know it, maybe we all are into computers or whatever, maybe we're not, but it's 2022. Not only should we be here, but there should be people with Zoom meetings right now, or at home, or wherever they're at on their cell phone, to communicate with what's going on here with this ARPA fund. Instead of calling people to the side of the room and this and that. But I'm not going to wake you up for what it is that I know. Right now is that I am a representative of the Genesee County, it's called Michigan Green School.
It's in Genesee County, and it's the city of Flint. And the only way to get in here is to stand with you all right now. So that we can take that lake, we can get our children to learn about environment. It's called Justice 40 for the President of the United States. There's environmental dollars that come, just 40%, just for our community alone. It's billions of dollars everywhere.
Microphone, please.
I cannot stand here and say everything that I'm saying because it really hurts my heart. But like I said, the money is here for us to do something with. I'm going towards the council, and I'll be asking them to put the money towards the ARPA fund to help get this lake clean. It's a pristine lake for our community, and I hope that we can figure out how to get it done. I tried out for the Human Relations Commission because I believe that if I was part of the Human Relations Commission, I could relate with the other community about what I'm doing with my nonprofit. And it's called Safe Kids Against Violence. I'm a part of a security team. And if it has to get to that point where we have to wait, I can't do it like that. That's against the law. But if I go to my council and I tell them what I'm doing, what I'm trying to get done, we're ready to put up aerial. We're ready to put up video, just get in the neighborhood and stuff like that.
Need you to use the mic, my friend.
Oh, I'm just trying to say that I'm trying to bring something positive. Let's stop talking about the death and the killing one another while people are making millions off of us and do something about it if I can contribute to it. I got a block club where I stay in. That block club is called Safe Kids Against Violence. I'm doing everything that y'all say that can be done. But I'm not it seems like I'm being ignored. Like today, somebody that works in the day told me to be here at 7, but it's supposed to be 5 o'clock. So it seems like gatekeepers are keeping me away from you all. So no matter what it is, I'm going to be here. It's going to be brought up again. We all got to meet again. This is not the last time we'll be talking. I would have brought cars, but I wasn't even able to go home. That's why I'm carrying my clothes with me. So I'm just trying to get to the point that I know the money is here. I know that we can do better. I know we can have anything that we want and get more. I'm also, because of the prosecuting attorney is working both sides of the table. We have the opportunity to take them to prosecution and tell them we don't want them no more. We don't want them working on our behalf. We can defend ourselves. Not only can the council speak up with lawyers or whatever, we're supposed to have an environmental or Flint water crisis attorney that we never hear from or getting paid at this time right now. But Eric Mays has put forth a thing that brings forth the Flint water crisis and what happened with the trial and everything before the council. So it's not a thing we can be powerful about. They keep us dumb, they keep us digging to ourselves or whatever, and all we do is fight and kill one another. Somebody's always mad. Our egos are bigger than who we think we are. But I know that we got to do something before it gets down, depending on this water that we can't drink. If something's going to come down soon, then we need to look after each other. It's an aquifer right down there in that Devil Lake. We could have been doing our own bottled water because we didn't need that. Somebody's lying to us. And we need to stand up and speak up for ourselves. But if you don't speak up for yourself, I'm going to speak up. And I'm going to speak up as long as I can. And if it means the death of me or whatever, that's what's up. Because I'll tell you, I'm not here. I'm here for you. I'm here for us to rise up for the next generation. Because the next generation learn about environmentalism, about how to work the soil, learn about water and conservation and everything else. That generation will prosper. Instead of talking about genocide and gentrification, we'll be all over here. And that's what they want us going. But we don't have to go out that way. That's the way I'm speaking. That's from my heart. And like I said, whatever I said before council, I don't mean nobody disrespect or whatever. But I'm only here to try to help and get things done. That's all. That's all I'm trying to do. From here, that's where I said to go to wherever I'm supposed to be. So thank you.
Cut that mic off, and I want you to think specifically, Mr. Hall. I want you to think specifically about amounts of money we should put in certain places, and we're gonna see what we can do. I don't think you're wasting your time.
The only thing is that I don't know how to get behind that, where all the businesses and everybody get up on that paperwork, but y'all gotta look at it.
We'll help.
And I don't want to be a pest to you. I gotta like myself. I'm not trying to hinder anybody from doing whatever. But you gave me this time to speak. So I'm gonna speak my mind. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna know if you're lying to me or not. If you don't like it, you don't like it. You don't want to be bothered, you don't want to be bothered. But I still got a right to say what I gotta say.
You got a right to help us spend this money.
We're gonna spend it one way or another because he's not gonna take it. I ain't pointing fingers. All right.
Feel good. Feel good. Ma'am, you got the floor.
Final speaker.
They sitting down in line, about three of them. There's about three of them sitting down waiting, and they act like they all. Okay, we're gonna knock them three out and then take it from there. Go ahead.
I'm gonna put my personal name on the side. Hello everybody. I was at home and until the last minute, so I rushed down here. My name is Rosa Patrick. I own the business Employment Networking Solutions, and our business has been helping people in the community for years. We have been helping people to get employed, helping people to get employment ready. And once they get employment ready, then we're bringing companies in to help them to get employed. We do a lot of the training that we was doing out of the Urban Renaissance Center, Joy Tabernacle. We have video on Facebook and also on our website. You can see the different trainings we've been doing. But what we were normally working with adults. But what happened was we understood the assignment. We understood the assignment. The assignment is with the youth. That's what the assignment is with. And so we developed a new training program, and we're calling it Positive Vibe Youth Training Program. Okay? And what it's to do is to pour positivity into our youth. Our youth need positivity. And what we need to do, we need to come together. We need to come together as a community. We see our youth as failing. They are really falling. And we need to help them. And so what we have to do, help to change their mindset. But all this violence and everything that's going on, we got to step up. We have to step up and come together. All the organizations, whatever services that you offer, I'm looking for partnership. For partnership in this. So we need to come together. We're training the soft skills, team building, okay? Once we train the team building, we train the effective communication. Also conflict and resolution, okay? And we're helping the youth. Once we get these soft skills done, then we are going to connect with the different companies and businesses in the community. And what we're going to do is early work experience. Give them early work experience so they understand work ethics. We got to come together and help them to have a positive future. And then we connect with the colleges and also the my workforce development, the fast track training program. There's a woman named Miss Lo White. She has a program we're connecting with her. I think it's called the robotics program, through something like that.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Your organization, is it a profit or non-profit?
It is a profit organization.
And so if you were to request help for your organization, how much would it be?
And that's a very good question.
That's what we're here for.
And that's why I'm here, and I can't give you that information at a later time because I need to add that up. But we need help. We need to all the money is going to the nonprofit.
Not really. We haven't allocated a dime. We do profit, nonprofit. Get your figures together.
Okay. And I do want to say, once they go through the training, then this employment opportunity is going to be available for them. And as I said before, we've been working hard in this community, doing job fairs all over the place. We're really strong in the Civic Park community, coming together, helping people to get employed, and that's what we're about. But I've heard people talk, and they talked about giving skills to the youth, and that's correct. But we have to start with giving them the soft skills. Because if they can't get along with each other, and they don't know about cultural diversity, they're going to be bouncing from job to job to job, can't accept corrective criticism. We got to come together. And this is what our program is about, Employment Networking Solutions. We are opening doors to employment opportunity, and we've started this new youth program, and I'm asking for partnership.
We might be your best partner. Get your figures together and let's see what happens. This is going to be a money thing, and we're going to look at them and see what we come up with. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we got 3-4 more we trying to get out of here. Chris Del Marone.
All right, Tony?
This is the first of four, so go ahead, Chris.
Thank you. My name is Chris Del Marai. I live in Flint, Michigan. And I'm not part of a nonprofit or a for-profit, so I won't be asking for any money from you personally. But, you know, what I think one of the things you need to look at for your next meeting is limit the amount of time each speaker has. And then if they want to speak a second time after everyone spoke, then they can do that, because at this point, most people are gone.
Don't matter. Let's just get to the business. That's what I'm going to have to do. Keep people to the business of request.
I noticed that.
I know, but check this out. As far as all them goofy rules and all of that, let's stick to these money allocations.
Absolutely. So the demo of the blighted structure, I do not know that the city, I do not believe that the city can spend money to tear down blighted structures that they don't own. So if, let's say someone's house burns down, I don't know that you can pay to clean that up. But maybe.
We just want the categories and the money so we can look at it.
I believe that the money that's coming into the city of Flint is pandemic-related money only, and I've heard a lot tonight about blue tarps on roofs. Blue tarp has been there for 10 years. I don't know how that would be pandemic-related.
It can be related to disparities in the community. You got a category when COVID hit certain communities hard, you got some creativity that you can service homeowners and other things in some disproportionately affected communities. Give us a wish list and let us sort it out.
And I would even argue on that with the blue tarp that because of the pandemic, prices have gone up, right. So maybe we can, help with funding in that manner. I see under public health, capital investments in community centers to meet pandemic operational needs. So, I think there's opportunities in the city where we can partner with other groups. So if we're looking for community centers, we have many empty schools in the city of Flint, and those could possibly become community centers, and something could be worked out with the school district.
You're a school board member, correct?
I am, yes, recently appointed about 3 months ago. So, and I'm not saying that is the position of the school board, but I'm speaking just to keep up. I think there's been some confusion maybe between the words essential versus frontline in the sense of workers. So, any money that would go to what I'm most often hearing now are essential workers, I would say it should go to frontline workers before essential workers. So if someone was working at City Hall in some type of position and they were able to continue to work from home without any fear of exposure from the general public who may show up at City Hall or co-workers, I don't know how or why they should be compensated, quite honestly. Fire, police, paramedics, ambulance workers, I don't think the city has any ambulance workers. They're the front lines. They're dealing with people who have injuries, who are bleeding, who are becoming in close contact. Someone at home that we talk to on the phone, I don't know what their exposure level really is. But, and I'm going to reiterate what I've said all along here, is that this money should be spent on things that will pay our community long-term dividends. Not something that's a one-shot payment and then we never see it again. So dividends might be, if it's an allowed use, would be maybe fixing some sidewalks, fixing some curbs, some streets, so that pays out, and a sidewalk will last. I mean, I've seen some laid in 1926, 1936. You can see the date stamped into the block. They'll last 100 years. That's good for the community. That's good for our children, grandchildren, and let me say great-grandchildren. But so spend the money wisely, and I think the response to pandemic-related gun violence. At one of the just recent council meetings, I mentioned about a gun buyback program. A couple council people, and I agree with it, Bad guys aren't gonna turn in their guns. Bad guys, the bad women, they're not gonna turn in their guns. But what happens when you have a gun buyback program is the good person that has a gun that they no longer wish to have and they really don't know what to do with it. You know, if you've only bought one gun in your entire life, you're going, how do I get rid of this thing? I mean, you just don't run an ad in the paper. I don't think you can do that. Those guns linger in those houses, and when those houses get broken into, guess who gets them? The bad guys, the bad women, and they're out on the streets. So if you can get more guns off the street, or that might end up on the street, that I believe is a good thing, and I think we should look at spending some money on the buyback program. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Del Maroney. Who is the next speaker? Sir, you got the floor. Look to you. Right.
I came to meet Mr. Murphy. My name is Kevin Wilson.
No closer to your mouth, please.
Mr. Murphy and the City Council. How you guys doing? I'm the owner of KW Bail Bond Service on Saginaw Street, 3503 North Saginaw Street. I'm also a businessman on the north side of Flint. I think you guys should spend the money. This is my opinion, but I think you should spend some of that money on economic development. A lot of buildings are in bad shape around here in the city of Flint, especially on the north side. The building next door to me at 3503 North Saginaw Street caved in. Somebody high and drunk in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Where is that building at?
3501 North Saginaw Street.
Near what?
Cross street from Bursley, on the corner of Pasadena and Saginaw Street.
Next to the barber shop.
Well, I own that barber shop.
Oh, that's you?
I own that barber shop.
Right on.
The building caved in, man. Somebody hit the building in the middle of the night, ran the car into the building.
Since you own that barber shop, can you help out our colleague in the first ward?
You see, I cut my hair and just cut my hair. I was really
Touche, Viper. I own another barber shop at 2046 Corona Road on the west side. Kevin's barber shop. But anyway, the building caved in, man, and I offered to buy the building and caved in, which a preacher owned it. He owned the building.
I'm wrong.
And the building had been condemned for the last probably the last 10 years. It just took the car to run into it for the building to fall. And downtown at the zoning department, they told me that the building, the city didn't have no money to follow up on different things, and the building just lingered on for 10 years and just been sitting there. It's been condemned. It needs to be towed out.
Microphone, please. Can you get a little closer to your mouth for me?
So you guys need to put some of that money on economic development. Building, rebuilding the city, man. That's the only way the city can come out of the problem that it's in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Economic development will be a category, and if you got specifics and money amounts in that area, feel free to bring them as we continue to do that. That part that you talk about with building tear downs is ways to get that done as well. So your voice have been heard. Hopefully it will be people up here help me remember specifically what you said.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am, you've got the floor.
Hi, my name is Lawaka Wolfham. I live in Roseland, man, on Pearson and LK.
Can you speak up a little bit, please?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
I have a concern in the curve right there. Yes, in Old Pearson.
Last week.
Yes, I did.
Go ahead.
And there are too many vehicles coming through the fence, the armored guard fence. We have like 4 spots where trucks came through, jumped over the curb, almost hit an apartment, hit the tree, then actually nearly hit somebody's house. That is a dangerous spot right there. We don't want the, put whatever we need to put right there to keep the vehicles from jumping over the curb, is a need. Those are lives on that side of the street. I talked to Mr. Brown. He explained to me if they put a guardrail there, that's my concern is a guardrail. If they put a guardrail on that side where the residents live, cars hit, bounce off, they can get injured. I said, I understand what you're saying, but the lives are on the other side. I'm not worried about the car hitting the guardrail bounce, no, because on the other side of the street, there's nothing but trees and fields. Where I live, there are a lot of things. So we need a guardrail there. The signs are there, they get knocked down and put back up. You talk about bumps, okay, you got to see us coming down the street on a daily basis. A guardrail is needed there. It's not a want. We need it. We have children that play right there. They can't play there because there are 4 holes in our fence. I actually seen a truck come in one way, go out the other way. So we have 2 holes in our fence. These fences get hit like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. People are asleep. When they come through that fence, you're coming through somebody's patio, which is their living room and their dining room. Above is the living room. You come down that door, they're coming down on top. We need a guardrail. The signs are okay, but we need a guardrail. Too many trucks jumping over the curb into our fields where our children play. They can't play there anymore. So it's a concern, a major concern, that we need a guardrail right along Pearson and that curb.
Mitchell, we did the call. We left a message and Mr. Brown called you.
Yes, he did.
And so from Mr. Brown calling you, seemed like he leaning toward not a guardrail.
Well, he said some things he can check into. He was gonna come out and take some pictures. I said, well, the fences that are tore out are against the wall. You can literally come down there and see there's 4 holes in our fence.
Yeah, I looked at it.
Yeah.
Ms. Winfrey Carter, put as a discussion item, the guardrail specifically as it relates to that curve in Martin Luther King by Rosewood Apartments. Put it as a discussion item, if you will, on the governmental operations. Follow back up. Our governmental operations meeting is Wednesday. We meet every 2 weeks. Let's see if we can get an answer one way or another from Mr. Brown, whether he will or won't at that specific location. And call me back and forth, and let's see if we can get that done. If he call you with an answer, let me know.
Sure will.
Nice meeting you in person.
Amen.
All right. Thank you. And see what you're talking about, man, you ain't talking about a one-time accident. This has been repeatedly in that curve. That's what you're talking about. Right. And that's in the area that you the block club president over, so we're serious about it. Let's see what happens. Is that Mr. Glenn Wilson?
Yes,
Is that Glenn?
Yes, sir.
You got the floor.
All right. I'm trying to make it short. Push it up.
Testing. All right, there we go. Thank you. Yes, sir, it is. Good evening, City Council. Thank you so much for staying here this late and listening to everybody's concerns. I just have a few things I just want to bring up. I'll be fairly quick. But right now we have an opportunity to get this right as a community. At one point in the past, I don't know if everybody remember like NSP programs and different things that we had probably 10 or 11 years ago. A lot of those funds were spent mostly on demo, not a lot of doing economic growth. And I'm really around trying to, if you can invest in growth of a city and a community, and really start a ripple effect that can be lasting. A priority of the fund should be used on filling gaps for equitable access to affordable housing, rental, and homeownership in neighborhood centers. We have hundreds of people tonight, just think about it, sleeping on the streets right now, and that should really just be unacceptable to all of us. Detroit here just recently, last month, dedicated over $7 million in ARPA funds to finish a 117-unit senior affordable housing development called New Platform. These are some of the things we should be looking into. Funds should also be going into rehab and vacant homes to provide new home ownership opportunities here in Flint. Funds should also be prioritized for economic development including things like small business grants, development supports, facade improvements, and walkable city corridors and neighborhood centers in places across Flint, like where I grew up over off Vulture Chevrolet. I used to walk off Mallory Street and walk over to Vulture Chevrolet. I used to go over to Little Caesars, go to, I remember the bank, go to the store over there. And so, you have areas like that, Vulture Chevrolet, Flushing and Ballinger, Davidson and Franklin, MLK and Pasadena, Corona Road, Fenton and Atherton, Clio and Pearson Road. And all these things are laid out in the city master plan that's currently already there, that's talking about these neighborhood centers and city corridors improvement. Also, we should also be supporting, we also right now are in the process, and the city has supported a little bit of this in the past, and we're just trying to get it over the hump, but it's our Center for Social and Economic Wealth. It's more life and everything just in general about an individual. It's more than just getting a house or an apartment, but it's about helping people stabilize their lives and building new habits to help them create generational wealth. We should also be prioritizing new residential development that includes inclusive, walkable, transit-friendly, and most of all, affordable. Funds should also be used to support police, support security camera infrastructure, and also an update to the required master plan as required by state law, and to support additional economic development efforts in the city of Flint. So thank you so much for being here today. And if you have any questions, I know I've submitted some stuff to the city, or we've submitted some stuff to the city. If y'all have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. And looking forward to what we can do to help the city leverage these funds to make it go further. And as Councilman Burns said, this is a great time and opportunity to get funds dispersed across the entire city. It's really important that we look at building strong neighborhood centers and really building out from there. Because when you create anchors in the community, things that are stable and things that you can build off of, it really helps create density and help create more investment in the community and really creates that ripple effect. So thank you so much for your time. You guys have a good day.
Let me say this or ask this question. You were reading off of your cell phone, correct?
Yeah, hold on.
Have you submitted all of that to the city? And if not, could you submit that to our council office and we'll have a written communication? If you already have it, I don't want to.
Yeah, I can submit it. That's not a problem. I did submit some stuff to the city, to the economic development department.
Yeah, well, I want to see if you'll submit that to the city council office.
Yes.
And then I want everybody to get a copy. Yes. And we'll see what we can do. When Bethany Hazard was speaking and you spoke on that master plan, I want to say for the record loud and clear, according to law, the master plan is outdated. It ain't been updated in over 5 years, which is mandated by law, and I can show you the law at least every 5 years. So I hear you about the master plan, but we're gonna see what happens because a lot of stuff is being done and not done based upon an outdated, unlawful, at this point, master plan. Thank you so much. Get that to the council. Why don't you say, Mr. Chairman, can you hold on? You got the floor. You got the floor.
Thank you, Councilman Mayor. This meeting is, it's not as formal, but I was getting ready to. I didn't want Flint to leave.
Oh, good.
Thank you. When did you submit it to economic development?
This was just here recently, probably within the last couple of weeks.
Okay, because our director left, so I want to make sure that.
I think that's what happened. I think we submitted it right before. I think we submitted it, and I think it just got forwarded on to your.
Yeah, and there's a little gray area there because we don't. The active Calfani Stevens is gone. He left with the city. So I regret that he had a lot of projects he had been working on. And your projects would have fallen underneath that scope. Wow. The interim person is a Samantha Fountain, I believe. But I don't know really what. I don't know if she's director or act, so it's not clear. But I will. I did send an email to the administration. So I'm gonna follow up. Can you send me your list that you have, please, so that and I still need to get with you.
Yeah.
And you can send it in, or you send it to all of us.
Yeah, it's not a problem. honestly, it's spread out across the ward. I mean, it's...
Yeah, you're in my ward line. You got some beautiful projects. I would like to see some of the projects in all the wards.
We have some home ownership stuff, you know, a whole bunch of different type of projects all spread across the city. So, I mean, like you said, we're basically in time right now, and we can really use the funding, ARPA funds, to really leverage additional funds as well. I mean, you can really probably take this $94 million that the city has, and if you do it right, you probably can, raise another, $100 million against it. I'm just saying, if you know what I'm saying, really get a county impact, and I mean, also being inclusive of a lot of people in the community and share their needs and everything in the community. I mean, it's a unique time. It's not going back to it. So
yeah, and you're correct.
We need to support that.
And you mentioned economic development, and one of the issues is that department is being dismantled. And I don't want your project or anyone else's project, when we talk about economic development, to not get the attention that it deserves. Because you've got some great projects. There's other companies that we need to make sure that we're following through. I will be following up with that if you'd like to send me the information, because I've had about 5 or 6 people where the ball has been dropped, and I want to make sure that we're keeping you in the loop and keeping you engaged. So thank you. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you so much. I'll get that to
the staff office. And let me say this, if y'all talking about using money to leverage another $100 million and letting money said, if you specifically want to give an idea on how to use $20 million to leverage $40 million, but some of that money is going to get to these loopholes. It's going to get to block clubs, it's going to get to folks whether it's leveraged or not. So I'm not fixing to agree, me personally, me professionally, to use it to leverage another $100 million while people is waiting for relief and crime prevention and things now. I don't want to tell the person that's had a family member dead, we didn't put up cameras, we didn't do crime prevention, we didn't do some of that while we trying to leverage another $100 million. Now you might have buy-in from some, but when it comes to that leveraging and all them details, I sure hope it takes a week to leverage, because this community has been hurt the whole time money's been sitting here, and some of it has to do with public safety for me.
Yeah, this is not a
I think we got one more speaker. Go ahead.
I just want to say, this is not a zero-sum game that I was speaking about. It's either this or that. It's all. You can do it all. That's what I'm saying. You can still do stuff in the neighborhood, you can still impact the community, and you can still leverage additional.
And I believe
so I just wanted to make sure. I'm glad you brought that point.
Yeah, because we looking at certain amounts, certain proposals. That could be one in the middle of others. So I'm glad we talked about it. What, we got one more speaker? Or no more speakers? If we don't have any more speakers, then what I want to do is entertain a motion if y'all ready to adjourn. But if there's some council people who want to say something before we adjourn, you're welcome. If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Ms. Herkenrode, is there a second?
Mr. President, second the motion.
It's been moved and properly second that we adjourn this gathering. All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed? All opposed? All opposed?
It's 7 a.m. Thank you, guys. Council, on behalf of Hospital Senior Center, our residents, and our community, thank you so much for having your first community council meeting here at Hospital. Be blessed.
Yes, before we leave, do we need to help you with anything? Sure. All right, let's get her home. She done had a long day. I don't want to be on punishment when we get ready to use Hasselbrick again. God bless everybody. Be safe. God bless you. Jeanette, thank you for being here.